football action, check out YurView.com.
Is the marquee matchup on Rhode Island's high school football calendar. 15 minutes out of the capital city of Providence. Tonight, we come to you from Warwick, Rhode Island, where the top two high school football teams in the state will square off. It's Bishop Hendricken against Salle Academy. Hi, everyone. I'm Frank Carpano alongside Kyle Rowley for tonight's high school football game. A great atmosphere here at Bishop Hendricken High School. And you know all about this game because you played in it when you played at Bishop Hendricken. What's it like?
Yeah, I know a little bit about this. In fact, it brings back a lot of memories watching the two brothers combo out there for Hendricken. Obviously, I played with my brother, handing the ball off, pitching it to him. So actually watching some highlights, bringing back a lot of memories. This is such a big game. This is what high school football is all about. I think it's the game of the year every year. And there's a lot of nerves, I'm sure, with these players.
Well, it all comes down to quarterback play, and it's a position you certainly know about. Let's talk about the quarterbacks in the game, starting with Tom Camella for Hendricken.
Yeah, I know Tom well. In fact, we work together. So what Tom's going to have to do tonight, he started as a sophomore. So they've given him more and more of the reins. They call them the keys to the car, right? So they're allowing him to make more and more decisions out there. What he's going to have to do is make sound decisions, get the ball to his receivers when he can, but they're going to set that up with the run with Tom. He's basically their running back there, empty sets, run the ball, and when they give it to you, take what they're giving you with the receivers.
On the other side of the ball for LaSalle, it's Nathan Lucier.
Yeah, Nate Lucier is probably the opposite of Tom Camella. He stands at 6'3". He's a prototypical passer. Got colleges already looking for him because he's got that body type. I think what he's going to do is hit him with the pass first, but you can't take away the kid's legs. Once he gets out of there and hits the sideline, he can go as well.
All right, it's Bishop Hendricken versus Salle Academy. Always entertaining, always a great matchup, and we'll have the kickoff coming up in just a few minutes right here on YurView.
Game time high school football action on YurView is sponsored by Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car. Football fans, join us each and every Friday for some of the top high school teams from around the country on YurView. Live streamed games, in-depth behind-the-scenes coverage, podcasts, and more. Check it out at YurView.com.
Drone Racing League pilot Wild Willie is testing his skills on the scariest course imaginable. His mom's house. Fortunately, he's using panoramic Wi-Fi from Cox, because even a 1-second delay could mean trouble for everyone. Wall-to-wall fast panoramic Wi-Fi from Cox. Wi-Fi at the speed of flight.
Prestige Auto Mart, home of the guaranteed credit approval, or the car is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car.
Welcome back to Warwick, Rhode Island. Frank Carpano along with Kyle Rowley for the call of tonight's high school football game between the Bishop Hendricken Hawks and the LaSalle Rams. This game not only a game, it is an event, as it is every year when the top two teams in the state of Rhode Island get together for a high school football contest, and tonight's is no exception, as Bishop Hendricken adds to the festivities by celebrating their 60th anniversary, also a homecoming game. The stands full here in Warwick, food trucks before the game tonight for people to take advantage of, and then after the game, fireworks. So a big event here in Warwick, and Kyle Rowley, who is a graduate of Bishop Hendricken High School, certainly knows what it's like to participate in this rivalry game.
Man, it's such a great environment out here today. I think they said this is one of the biggest events they've ever put on here at Hendricken, and it's just exciting. Yeah, it brings back a lot of nostalgia for me. I just regret I didn't get a chance to hit the food trucks before I got up here.
They may still be there when we're done, but it really adds to the atmosphere of what is a great game. Fans started pouring in here like 2 hours before the game, filling the stands, not only on the home side of the field, Bishop Hendricken, but also on the visiting side. The Salle Academy Ram fans travel very well here, especially for this game. 2 undefeated teams, the top 2 teams in the state about to square off. Bishop Hendricken won the toss. They have elected to defer, so they will kick off here in the first half to the LaSalle Rams. The Rams in their white jerseys and purple pants. Meanwhile, the Bishop Hendricken Hawks on the other side in their green and gold lettering and gold helmets. So we are about to get underway here. Cole Peterson will kick it off, and we'll see the Rams on offense for the first time. And we are underway here in Warwick, Rhode Island. Bishop Hendricken against LaSalle. And the ball in the end zone is recovered, and it's going to be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. So you got to believe that the nerves are really something for both sides as they come into this game.
Yeah, you know, whenever it's a rivalry game, you find yourself, can't sleep the night before, and it's just there's so much more riding on this, especially when you come in. Both of you are 3-0, so someone's going to get out, leave this game without being an undefeated season. So a lot on the line right here.
All right, so our first chance to see the LaSalle Academy Rams on offense. They are led by their senior quarterback, Nathan Lucier. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Lucier from the shotgun, drops back to pass, throws off to the right, and nobody there. Underthrowing his receiver on that play. And what do you see as some of the keys to this one tonight, Kyle?
Primarily, I said for the Hendricken defense here, I think we need to get some pressure on Lucier. He feels comfortable back there. He's a 3rd-year starter, and they just need to get to him and disrupt some of this LaSalle offense. They've been putting up huge numbers.
All right, 2nd and 10. Lucier steps back, and Jacob Gibbons also in the backfield, and he takes the handoff. Gibbons trying to find the corner, a little spin move up to the 25 and pushed out of bounds at the 26-yard line. So a pickup of 6 for the Rams, who now have 3rd and 4.
And at the same time, as much as Hendricken's trying to put pressure on Lucier today, and that seems like the plan, and I talked to Coach Croft, that is the plan. The way that he can combat that is get the ball out of his hands, make his decisions pre-snap, get the ball out of his hands, and let his receivers do the work for him.
3rd and 4 now for the LaSalle Rams, who come in here undefeated, as do their opponents, the Hendricken Hawks. And the handoff, once again, going to Gibbons, and he's trying to push it up off tackle, and it looks like he's going to be short of the first down, a pickup of maybe 2 on the play. But let's see where the officials mark this ball. Originally on the 30, but then they push it back about a few feet, so they may take a measurement here. And the Rams are signaling first down, and let's see, they are moving the stakes, or are they going to measure? They're going to move the stakes, so it's enough for a first down for the Rams, who will start this next bunch of plays on the 30-yard line.
Good spot for LaSalle. That's a big break, so they can put a drive together here.
Lucier directing the offense. Gibbons on his left, and he's going to throw long on this one and centering under it, but just too far for wide receiver Michael Jordan, one of the captains of this Ram team. So kind of going for the long ball there on that play.
Michael Jordan, a talented guy for them. He's trying that right cornerback, so maybe they see something over there that they're trying to exploit. Unfortunately for them, they haven't got it. I feel like the first time up the right sideline, he tried to go for the back shoulder throw. This time trying to lead him over the top, but both unsuccessful.
2nd down and 10 now for the Rams, as we're just underway here in Warwick, Rhode Island. Top 2 teams in the state, Hendricken and LaSalle, and back to pass Lucier. Now he's going to tuck it in, and there's plenty of traffic there, and he is going to be dropped for about a 5-yard loss.
It's a great sign for Hendricken. Like I said, that's the key to the game for them, is put pressure on this kid, make him uncomfortable back there. So the fact that they can do that on this first drive is big for them. It's also momentum. It's a momentum thing whenever you can hit the other team's quarterback.
You look at those guys on Hendricken's defense, that front line there on defense, the big guys.
Yeah, historically always seemed to have a big line up front. I was the beneficiary of a little bit of that on the other side of the ball.
Third down and about 14 now for the Rams. They've got 2 wide to the right and 1 wide to the left, and trying to escape now. Lucier looking long, and he has got someone open downfield, and that ball is picked off. Was intended for Jacob Gibbons, but then intercepted by the Hawks, and they'll take over. A nice little run back, and Hendricken back in business now will have 1st and 10 from their own 37-yard line.
Hendricken again was able to move him out of the pocket. I think move left, and Lucier with this big arm. That's one thing they got to be careful of is him hitting them over the top, throwing over the whole defense. He can get it to them about 50, 60 yards in the air.
So he's really trying to force it in there as cornerback and the safety there, and then finally reeled in by Andres Andujar. So our first chance to see the Hendricken Hawks on offense now as they start 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line, their own 39, and the quick pass off in the flat. And there goes Angel Sanchez, and Sanchez is going to pick up about 7 yards. So a little quick pass there, Tom Camilla, the quarterback, over to Angel Sanchez, and a pickup of 5 or 6 for the Hawks.
Yeah, I think a great call by Coach Pantaleo, just trying to get Tom in a rhythm here, get him some quick passes, get the ball out of his hand, let the receivers feel it. He's going to allow him to make some calls at the line of scrimmage, as well as check with the coach from the gun, and kind of take a look at what LaSalle's doing on defense and make their play call off of the defense.
All right, the ball spotted on the Hendricken 46-yard line now, 2nd down and 2. And from the shotgun, the handoff, and pushed back. LaSalle coming up big on defense, and a loss of a couple of yards as number 21, James Gobawoli, gets nowhere with that.
Gobawoli, a talent for them. So this is where, everyone's amped up out there, right? So we're trying to figure out who's going to win the battle at the line of scrimmage. And I think both teams having success defensively up front. It's going to be a matter of who keeps that up throughout the course of the game.
All right, big 3rd down play here for the Hawks. The ball spotted on their own 45-yard line. Tom Camilla brings his team to the line of scrimmage, calling signals. And here comes the rush. And they pitch off to number 21, Gobawoli, and he gets the 1st down. So the Hawks staying in business now as the ball now at midfield and 1st down.
Great job by Tom there, trying to use snap count on 3rd and less than 5. So he gives himself 2 chances to get the 1st down. 1 on the snap count if he can get the defense to jump, and 1 with the actual play. And I think if LaSalle they need to stop him from getting the edge. Hendricken's plan here is get to the edge and then set up the pass by the defense over swarming.
Little change of the football here as the officials holding things up. And now the Hawks ready to run their 1st down play here right at midfield. Just underway here in the 1st quarter, no score between Hendricken and LaSalle. Man in motion. And the keeper, it's the quarterback trying to find the quarter, and he's down to the 45, and Tom Camilla, nice run here, almost 1st down yardage. We'll see where they spotted. A pickup of 9. It'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Hawks.
A good read by Tom there. He's reading that defensive end. If he crashes, he's going to keep the ball himself. LaSalle almost got to him. You can't give Camilla the edge. No one's going to catch him there. Almost.
Breaking 1 tackle.
They've got to try to contain him because he's got too much speed. Once he gets out there, not a lot of guys are going to catch him.
2nd down, short yardage from the shotgun. Camilla, the handoff, and over the 40-yard line and down to about the 37 goes Nick Camilla, the brother of the quarterback. Identical twins.
Yes.
Coach Croft said sometimes he has a tough time telling them apart.
It's
happy that they are wearing numbers, so he can tell them apart.
I'm guilty. I've mixed them up a number of times. including today.
Well, and you certainly know what it's like to play with your brother in high school. You played with Travis here at Hendricken many years ago, and it must be it's all good, right?
It's exciting. Not that you know anything else but playing with your brother. You know, it starts in the backyard. So, but you realize later on how lucky you were that a lot of people don't get to have that experience.
Camella rolling out. We got a penalty flag and escaping the rush, and then throws and completes it to Angel Sanchez, and Sanchez brings it down inside the 10-yard line before being tackled by Stephen Doss.
What a great play right there. Camella's doing a great job making plays with his feet right now.
Holding the call against Hendricken, so they'll bring this one back. But there's a great example of Camella trying to make something out of nothing.
He's a by any means possible quarterback is what I say. He's going to get it done for you. He's got a championship caliber, championship on his belt. But he's going to do it a number of different ways. If he's got to scramble and throw it, if he's got a jump pass sometimes I've seen from him. They just got to try to keep him inside the pocket because he's a lot more limited from there.
Well, that's a big one. It's going to be first down and about 20 yards now for the Hawks.
Holding on Hendricken, 10-yard penalty, first down.
The ball back inside of Hendricken territory at the 49-yard line. Man in motion, Sanchez. And then the handoff goes to Nick Camella and around the left corner and then trying to turn it upfield, and he's knocked out of bounds. So a pickup of about 6 on that play.
What Hendricken's doing there is he'll look to the sideline, and if they may or may not send this guy in motion, right? So they've got 2 play calls basically in the game. If they don't like what they see, they'll send him and hand it to him. And if he likes what he sees, they'll throw the ball to the tight end there.
How long have you been working with Tom Camella?
About 2 years now. He came to me, I think, right before he was the starter here. You're always lucky when you get a chance to start as a sophomore because that gives you 3 years experience. And by the time you hit it your senior year, you're really in a groove. You're over the learning process, the learning curve.
Here's Camella going long now and has a man open, and it is caught by Helio Sousa, and I'm not sure if he was the primary receiver or not because Angel Sanchez was also there, but they'll take it.
Great play by Sousa. What they're going to try to do is get that ball over the top of the defense to Sanchez, and I think you're right. That may have been a target of Sanchez, but both guys in the area both had a chance for it. Sousa comes down with it.
Big pickup for the Hendricken Hawks. First down now, and the ball spotted on the 12-yard line.
Huge play right there because they were backed up.
First down now and under center is Camella, and the quick handoff to Sanchez. Sanchez not going to go anywhere as the Rams do a good job of bottling him up and bringing him down for a loss.
I think what you're seeing here is Hendricken kind of making a concerted effort to get the ball to one of their better players here in Sanchez. One of the keys for them on offense and what they're primarily trying to do is stretch this defense out from sideline to sideline, hand off these speed sweeps, and then, like I said, they'll hit you with the passing attack in the middle once you start overplaying that.
All right, second down and about 13 now as the ball spotted back at the 17-yard line on the right hash mark. Camella from the shotgun. Looking right, throwing, and caught by the sideline. Number 81 for the Hawks. Reeling it in, Andrew Nolan.
Great throw by Tom. That's something he's done a lot of work with, is putting that back shoulder throw on the back shoulder when the DB's overplaying downfield. And that's something that just requires chemistry with the receiver. And chemistry is short for just extra work at practice.
All right, they're backing this one up as I believe another penalty called on Hendricken. It'll be second down and long for the Hawks. The ball now spotted on the 22-yard line.
Yeah, they're shooting themselves in the foot a little bit with these penalties, right? So they got out of that bad spot back at midfield, and now they're going to have to get out of this spot here. Let's see what he comes up with. Coach Panaleo doing a great job on the offensive side, making the play calls.
Man in motion. Fakes the handoff. Camella down the middle, and what a great diving catch by number 20. That's Nick Camella.
Good example, just what we were talking about. Fake the speed sweep. Once the linebacker's overplay, stick it in the middle of the field. Take advantage of the defense overplaying that.
So
Great throw.
That ball spotted in the half-yard line. And watch again here. Great throw, and what a great catch. The Camella connection.
Great anticipation, but yeah, you know, I guess you know where your twin brother's going to be, right?
I'm sure they've worked that many times. And it's the quarterback keeper for the final few inches into the end zone. So Tom Camella has the honor of taking it in for the first points of the game. Hendricken goes up by a score of 6-0.
Great job by the two twins there. Like I said, that's exactly what Hendricken's game plan is, and it's great that they're executing it. So the other thing that's going on right now is they've got the momentum of this game, this rivalry game. They've got the mental edge now that they put the first 6 on the board, and we'll see if they get 7 right here.
Cole Peterson set to kick the extra points. Ball's down, it's up, and it is good. So 7-0 Hendricken leading LaSalle here in the first quarter of this rivalry game between the top 2 teams in the state. More action from Warwick, Rhode Island coming up in just a few minutes here on YurView.
Come on in and discover the new Cox Solutions store. Experience a whole new level of in-home comfort. It's all right here at the Cox Solutions store. Discover, learn, and experience more.
At People's Credit Union, we believe banking is more than just a thing you do. It's an important part of your bigger picture, a journey that grows with you. We'd like to help you with your financial roadmap, be your go-to. We believe in taking the time to know you, moving you in the right direction, and lending a helping hand by providing banking solutions that work for you and your family. At People's Credit Union, we believe in your dreams because they're our dreams too.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car. Football fans, join us each and every Friday for some of the top high school teams from around the country on YurView.
Welcome back to Warwick, Rhode Island, where Hendricken taking on LaSalle in high school football. The kickoff after the touchdown, the first points of this game by Hendricken. The ball through the end zone, and now LaSalle will take back over on their second series of offensive downs from their own 20-yard line.
We'll see how LaSalle responds right here with such a high-powered offense, but unable to capitalize on their first drive. So we'll see how they respond to being down 7-0 in the biggest game of their year.
Well, and speaking to both coaches before the game, there was a little bit of regret that it was happening so early in the season. They had hoped to maybe get a few more games under their belts, get more of an identity, know who they are before taking on such a big opponent like this. But here we are in the fourth week of the season, and now LaSalle on offense. The little handoff on first down, and right up the middle, great run by Jacob Gibbons, and he's got first down yardage after the 12-yard run.
Nice downfield run by Gibbons there. It looks like LaSalle's trying to establish themselves up front, just pound it in a little bit, and you know, like we're talking about all day, is the pass can set up the run or the run can set up the pass.
All right, first down now, 32-yard line. Nate Lucier, and we've got all sorts of confusion and flags flying, so not sure who moved first there. The officials will consult. And this is going to go against LaSalle, so they'll back it up 5 yards.
This is one of the big reasons these coaches are talking like that. They'd rather have this later in the season because they don't have all the kinks ironed out. And it's offensively that you struggle in the beginning. Defense is much more about being aggressive, letting things fly, getting to the ball. The offense has to work out the kinks.
There's the handoff to Gibbons, and he is stopped after a pickup of about a yard. And he's running into some big bodies there, the Hendricken Hawks, as he tries to go off tackle.
They are heavy up front, but I think, again, LaSalle's just trying to establish some type of run here so they can get them off of him and give him some time in the pocket so he can do what he does best, throw the ball downfield.
Gibbons only a sophomore, 5'5", and now on second down, there's the throw in the flat off to the right sides. The pass to Brandon Young. And that'll move the marker a little bit. Be third down and about 7 yards now for LaSalle. And I tell you what, one thing that Jeff Marcone, the head coach of the Rams, told me leading into this game, he likes to play fast.
Yeah.
You know, these guys aren't wasting a lot of time in a huddle. They want to get to that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, when you're in a well-oiled machine, it just does you. There we go.
Loose here, over to the sideline, and that is going to be incomplete.
Good timing by Lucier, just a little off the mark and a little bit low, but that's what he needs to do. Those last 2 plays, he took his 3-step, he got rid of the ball, and you know, they're just inches away right there.
All right, so it's 4th down now, and the Rams are going to have to punt this one away.
That will bring up to a 4th down, and LaSalle will punt the ball.
They've got 2 deep back there. We'll see what he does with it.
There's a snap and a block.
Big play.
Blocked by number 42 for the Hawks, Brandon Durand. Outside linebacker who got in there, and you could tell just with the high snap that the kicker was going to have to get it off quickly, and he was unable to, and Hendricken capitalizes.
I talked to Buddy Croft before the game. He said, watch out for Brandon Durand. That's literally what he's told me 10 minutes ago. He said he's a sophomore, but he comes hard off the edge, and a big play right there. You know, if I had another key to the game, it would have been special teams, right? Turnovers and special teams, and there we have both right there.
Well, great opportunity for Hendricken to put some more points on the board as the offense comes back out on the field, and they have great field position now on LaSalle's 19-yard line as we are inside of 3 minutes here in the first quarter with Hendricken leading it by a score of 7-0. This matchup, the top 2 teams in the state of Rhode Island. Hendricken comes in as number 1, LaSalle number 2, both undefeated. 1st down and 10 now from the 19. Camella, little handoff and up the left sides, a pickup of about 2 yards for the Hawks. It'll be 2nd down.
Such a big momentum swing right there with the punt block. So now the only question is, can Hendricken capitalize on this?
See Camella come over pretty much to the sideline.
Yep.
Play comes in from one of the coaches, takes it into the huddle.
What Coach Pantaleo said is that they'll huddle every play, but that doesn't mean that's the play they're going to run. They're going to take a look at the defense, they're going to see what they're giving them, and then they're going to decide whether they're running that play or they're going to audible.
Man in motion now. Camella drops back, looks deep, and he's got a man wide open, but unfortunately Angel Sanchez couldn't reel it in, and it drops incomplete.
He had a chance there. That's what they're going to try to do with Sanchez. Sanchez has such speed, such length, and such good hands.
How did he get open here?
Yeah, they're going to put him in the slot, and they're going to send him out on a corner/fade. Just missed it. It's good timing. He's just a little bit off the mark. That's the trouble with throwing the ball early, is that you have to be on the same page with the receiver because you're throwing it before the break.
All right, flags fly against LaSalle.
Can't see.
Well, they're going to
lots of penalties today.
Walk off some yards here against the Rams.
Roughing the passer. They let him off the hook. The thing about these defensive ends, right? They have one goal. It's hit the quarterback. So it's very tough for them to pull up when they get as close as they do. But you have to do it because it's a game killer.
Well, what was good field position comes even better field position as the ball spotted now on the 6-yard line. 1st down and goal for the Hendricken Hawks as they drive for yet another score. This field position courtesy of a blocked punt. Camella now with a handoff, and that goes to Helio Sousa, and Sousa into the end zone, a 6-yard touchdown run, and Hendricken's up 13-0.
Nice play call there. LaSalle's not stopping Hendricken from getting outside, and when they did, Hendricken capitalized on the inside with the pass down the middle to Nick Camella. So Hendricken's game plan seems to be working, and LaSalle's going to have to make some sort of adjustment.
All right, Cole Peterson will line up the extra points, being held by David Lynch. There's the snap, it's down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 1:54 to go here in the first quarter, Hendricken now with a 14-0 lead.
This is a tough situation for LaSalle. So they know that as the game goes on, a 2-touchdown lead wears on you, right? So this clock now starts to work in Hendricken's favor, especially as we go towards the second half. So if they don't do before halftime with 1:54 here, they're really going to be under the gun in the second half. They're going to have to pass the ball more. They're not going to have as much balance in their offense. So that's why a lot hangs on this second quarter.
Well, these two teams last met in last year's Super Bowl, and that game went to the Hendricken Hawks. They won that game, and they were up by a score of 21-7 when Lucier went out with a concussion.
Yep.
So unfortunately, any chance of a comeback by the Rams in that game was dashed when they lost their starting quarterback. 42-6 was the score in last year's game, the Super Bowl game that determined the state championship. These two teams really familiar with each other, having played each other in the Super Bowl so many times over the last few years. And the kickoff through the end zone, and now LaSalle will get another chance here to try and get the offense going and try and match the points that have been put on the board by Hendricken.
Yeah, it's been a back and forth battle, LaSalle, Hendricken, year after year, and you know, that's what's funny about watching these two quarterbacks play is they both started as sophomores, they both have a championship under their belt, and it's like, you know, it's like the rubber match, right? This season for them is like the rubber match. Who got the better? Is it Lucier? Is it Camella? Is it Hendricken? Is it LaSalle? So there's a lot riding on this. It's great to do it on the 60th anniversary of Hendricken, celebrating in this type of environment. LaSalle just has to answer here, though, to put themselves in a good position.
All right, from the 20-yard line, 1st down and 10 now for the Rams. Lucier looking off in the flat, and he's got a receiver there, but just a couple of yard pickup after it was reeled in by Michael Jordan. Feels kind of odd saying that name when we've got a football game going here.
I won't forget that one. Hopefully he scores a long touchdown. You know, Michael Jordan.
And then he spikes it through the uprights, right?
He throws a nice easy hitch on the 1st down, similar to what they're doing. They're trying to pound it last time. Now they're just trying to get it in their wide receiver's hands and get some yak yardage, some yards after the catch.
2nd down. Gibbons around the right side picking up some nice yardage, and he's got the 1st down. He is pretty wily there. Is he bouncing around, probably the smallest guy out there on the field, but yet he seems to find his openings.
Yeah, that kid can move. He's another one. You know, he's like the Camella boys. Don't let him get to the edge, okay? It's like keep him inside, keep him in between the hashes. If he gets to the edge, there's not a lot of guys that are going to catch him, and that's when the game starts getting out of hand, when you let him get outside the ends.
From the 35-yard line, Gibbons, he's not going to get away from this one, and brought down by Isaiah Emanuel.
Great play. That's exactly what Hendricken needs to do. Keep him inside those hashes.
Well, Gibbons was going east-west and trying to turn it up north, and he was met by a couple of different Hawks players.
LaSalle with a loss. 2nd down.
Hendricken's game plan in this game defensively is to mix it up on Lucier. They want to bring pressure, but they don't want to bring it on every drive. He's a 3rd-year starter. He's going to know what to do with that. He's going to know he can go downfield if they bring too many guys.
All right, 2nd down and long, and the whistle blows, and looks like we have a timeout, LaSalle.
Timeout, LaSalle.
Oh, so we're just seconds remaining here in the first quarter. 14-0 is our score. Tom Camella with a quarterback keeper here in the first quarter for the 1st touchdown, and then Souza with a nice 6-yard run for the 2nd Hendricken touchdown, and the Hawks leading it by a score of 14-0.
Yeah, I think the story of this game is that Hendricken's in a rhythm. Hendricken made a big play on special teams. And if LaSalle right now is struggling, they're just trying to find their rhythm. It's by no means is it over. It's the first quarter, but this is the quarter where the tone is set.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, this is the 60th anniversary of Bishop Hendricken's homecoming weekend here in Warwick at the Hendricken home field. And, you know, being that you're a Hendricken graduate, I want to test you on a little Hendricken trivia. When school came about and they decided on these colors of uniforms,
yeah,
gold and green, why did they go with gold and green?
Interesting. I do not know.
I just found out. I
like the color scheme. I like the color scheme a lot.
They were patterning themselves after Notre Dame.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the thought. Well, apparently back then.
I think Notre Dame does a great job with their uniforms. So instead they switched out the navy blue for the green and said, we're going to go with the green pants and the gold helmet.
There you go.
I like it.
Yep. All right, we're back in business now. 2nd down and long, and looking to throw, and now scrambling and letting it go. A wide open, and falling incomplete to Michael Jordan. A great defensive play by the Hawks down there. That is, let's see, number 45, Samuel Alisea. No, number 40, excuse me. That is Tegan Jeremy.
It's about the 3rd time where Lucier's really let one rip, and they've been close, but Hendricken's not allowing it. And I think that's another key for the game. They've got such speed and size on the outside that if Hendricken can contain that, keep them in front, right? Don't give up the big play.
All right, let's see what happens here. Is quarterback scrambling, and he's going to throw it out of bounds. So let's see. Lucier is pointing, maybe thinking there's a pass interference, and now Hendricken players are pointing towards LaSalle. I can't see if a flag had been thrown on this near sideline here, but we'll see if the officials are conferring.
Lucier would much rather scramble out of the pocket right to his throwing arm. They push him out up in the pocket and to the left, and that really limits what he can do with the ball. It's much harder for these quarterbacks to throw across their body, back across the field when they're rolling to the left side. And you see right there, he makes a good decision, throws it out of bounds.
So the penalty against LaSalle is declined. So it's going to be 4th down and long here as LaSalle has been pinned pretty deep in their own territory. So they'll punt it away again, and I think they'll be concentrating on getting that snap to the kicker a little bit quicker so as not to give Hendricken a chance to block it as they did the last time.
Watch out for Brandon Duran. Prophetic words.
Dan Catanzaro is the punter. Senior, backed up now to about the 12-yard line. 1 man deep for Hendricken. There's the snap, and it's blocked again. And into the end zone go the Hawks, scoring again. Boy, they did it again. The Hendricken Hawks coming up with a big special teams play for another 6 points. Wow.
What a big play right there. I'm curious to why LaSalle hasn't employed the 2-line system, right, which came into play about 5 years ago. I haven't seen a punt black against that scheme, but LaSalle's lining up in your traditional punt formation, and Hendricken's exploiting it. Huge swing right there. Huge swing. 20-0 now. 21 with this extra point. And on an already exciting night at Hendricken here, they don't want to lose this game. They've got the edge. Now the momentum is completely with Hendricken.
Well, that was blocked by Angel Sanchez, and then it was Durand who ran it in or gathered up the loose ball and collected the touchdown as the first quarter comes to an end with Hendricken leading it by a score of 21-0. More on YurView after this.
Prestige Auto Mart, home of the guaranteed credit approval, or the car is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car.
And now, your Game Time Minute.
It's going down in Omaha tonight as the Creighton Prep Junior Jays travel to Omaha West Side. Junior Jays are undefeated and flying high after a Thursday night 31-30 comeback win against Millard North. But they'll have their work cut out for them against the Warriors, thanks in large part to junior cornerback Avante Dickerson. The four-star recruit has scholarship offers from several Division I programs, including Ohio State, Nebraska, and LSU. And speaking of Louisiana, let's take it there for our play of the game from last week's matchup between Live Oak and West Feliciana. Live Oak looking live at the 25. Senior quarterback Rhett Rosevier drops back and launches it deep to Byron Smith, who backpedals, bobbles, and yes, he makes the catch just inside the end zone.
This has been a Game Time Minute. For more high school football action, check out YurView.com.
Welcome back to Bishop Hendricken High School in Warwick, Rhode Island. Frank Carpano along with Kyle Rowley. Big rivalry game here today, and it's one-sided through one quarter as Bishop Hendricken has scored 3 times and leads it 21-0. And the kickoff, Cole Peterson down the middle, little wedge here as LaSalle will try and turn it upfield, and that is Jacob Gibbons who's trying to find some room and then drags some tacklers with him and gets up to about the 27-yard line. So a big quarter now for LaSalle as they try and answer, because you certainly don't want to go in at the half down a whole bunch of points here. They need to gain some confidence.
Yeah, this is where you start to kind of take inventory, right? You got to tell yourselves, listen, it's 2 pump blocks that put us in this situation, right? It's not that they're completely outplaying us. We just got to find our rhythm. We got to even this up by halftime or come close. It's not much for them to put two touchdowns on the board in the second quarter. They've put up 40, 50 points in 2 out of 3 of their games.
Well, both these teams are battle-tested coming into this game. They're undefeated, but both have played league games against some pretty tough opponents. Last week was North Kingstown High School for Bishop Hendricken, and they had a tough one. So here we are in first down, and the handoff goes to number 24, Alex Nuon. Nuon takes it up the middle.
Hendricken coming out with a cover 2 shell, right? So which means they've only got 7 on the box, and I think that's what LaSalle's trying to take advantage of. You're weak when you've got 7 in the box, so they're just handing it up the middle and trying to sustain a drive here.
Second down and another run up the middle here. And it's number 24 again, Alex Nuon, who picks up some nice yardage. Good for a first down as the ball creeps closer to midfield on the LaSalle 47-yard line.
You know, both these teams playing a numbers game. They're taking a look at the defense. They count out how many are in the box, how many are in the defensive backfield, right? And then they make their decision based on that to attack weakness.
Well, on first down, the run goes nowhere as the Hendricken defense tightens up there and stops him at the line of scrimmage. So second down and 10 now for the LaSalle Rams.
LaSalle just pounding it up the middle.
Quarterback Lucier from the shotgun. Little handoff. And around the right side goes Nuon, and he gets up inside of Hendricken territory down to the 45-yard line. Be third down.
LaSalle just employing an old school football strategy here and just hand it off and create some sort of dominance in the middle of the field. And like I said, Hendricken's in that 4 shell. Cover 2 look, 4 shell. They're either playing quarters or cover 2, which means they're lacking numbers in the box. The tackle box, between the tackles is where you win it on the run game.
Some substitutions here. And checking in is Jordan Pugh at wide receiver. He'll be wide to the right here. Lucier's going to take it himself. He's running it up, down inside the 45 to the 42-yard line, and that's good for a first down.
LaSalle starting to establish themselves between the hashes, right? If they can't get outside the hash, you really just got to go straight downhill. And they're having some success here with it. And with success comes confidence.
Well, Lucier's got a couple of running touchdowns, got 6 touchdown passes, only 2 interceptions through 3 games this year. And he's got first down yardage now on the little handoff. to Nuon. Nuon's going to try and stretch this one out over the 40-yard line and down to the 39 before he's taken down, and it'll be second down.
LaSalle's got to feel good about this. They need a drive right now, and they're starting to put one together. They're in good position. They're putting themselves right now in second and medium, third and short. Second and medium, third and short, and that's a good way to sustain a drive.
So the play call, and now it is Lucier who is directing his players to line up. And from the right hash mark, second down and 8, and the handoff to Nuon. Nuon looking for room, and he is pulled down. And a loose ball scooped up by Hendricken, and they are running it back down to the 10-yard line, actually about the 15 before the runner is pulled down. And a big defensive play now gives Hendricken the ball back deep in LaSalle territory.
Turnovers and special teams, so much momentum. If you just look at the sideline right now, Hendricken is amped up, feeling great. Just when it looks like LaSalle's going to put the drive together, come up with another big play. Looked like a strip tackle there, and they were able to scoop it, which makes it even better.
And here we'll see it again as the handoff goes to Nuon, going around the left side, then backed up, and it was Nick Camella who stripped it out and then picked up by number 8, Isaiah Emanuel. And Emanuel takes it down inside the 20-yard line and tackled about the 16-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Hendricken Hawks. Camella, the little handoff, inside tackle, and a pickup of about 5 yards down to the probably the 10-yard line.
Hendricken giving LaSalle a little taste of their own medicine with a little ride fake up or ride give up the middle. What happened on that fumble is the running back bounced it outside and didn't switch hands. He kept it in the right hand, and that gave the tackler a great view of the ball, and he put his hands on, did what he's supposed to do, rip at the end of the tackle.
Be second down and 5 now. The ball on the 10-yard line. Hendricken's driving again for yet another touchdown here in the first half. Camella calling signals, man in motion, rolls out to the right, looking into the end zone, and he is going to head out of bounds as he's chased out of bounds by the LaSalle defense. Pick up of a couple of yards there, and it'll be third down.
So that's one of the plays we were talking about. He has the option to send him in motion or not, right? So he sees the defense, he decides to send him, and he fakes the ball in the running back's pocket, and what he thought he had was the same throw he threw to his brother for the, when he got to the 1-yard line. It just didn't happen. The coverage is a little better, but that's what's great about Tom Camella is he makes 3 yards out of a broken play.
And a timeout for Hendricken here, and we're going to take a timeout as well with 7:37 left here in the second quarter, and Hendricken leading LaSalle 21-0. We're back in just a few minutes here on YurView.
Catch URI Rams football live as they take on Elon, Saturday, October 26th at 1 p.m. Only on YurView, Cox Channel 4.
Come on in and discover the new Cox Solution Store. Experience a whole new level of in-home comfort. It's all right here at the Cox Solution Store. Discover, learn, and experience more.
Welcome back. Hendricken driving now for another touchdown inside the 10-yard line. There's the pass into the end zone and caught for a touchdown. Hendricken with another 6 on the board.
Great ball, great catch by Sanchez. That's what he does best. All you have to do with him is throw the ball early, let him go get it. Throw it out there and let him use his speed and the great hands at the end.
Tom Camella with a pass laid perfectly into the arms of Angel Sanchez, and here it is again.
Just gets it out there early. That's a trust throw, right? It's a fade ball on the outside. He puts it right where he's supposed to on his outside shoulder, throws it early, lets his receiver do what he does best. Sanchez is a basketball player. He can go up and get it.
Now the extra points. Cole Peterson up and through for another point tacked on the board for Hendricken. They now lead it 28-0. And again, another turnover, putting Hendricken in great position, and they score. We'll be back with more from YurView right after this.
Prestige Auto Mart, home of the guaranteed credit approval, but the car is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car.
With Cox My Account, you can stay on top of things without having to call. Check statements and pay your bill instantly, so nothing gets by you. Keep an eye on the strength of your Wi-Fi and fix issues right under your nose by resetting your modem or set-top box. Even check TV listings. Sign into My Account at Cox.com today, so you never miss a thing.
Welcome back. Bishop Hendricken running away with this rivalry game, leading it 28-0 over Salle Academy. And the kickoff. And that's Stephen Doss around the left side. He's going to pick up some big yardage, and it's tripped up at midfield. What a great return by LaSalle's Stephen Doss.
Stephen Doss, one of the fastest kids in Rhode Island, gets to the edge there, and that's what they need to do, is try to find a way to get to the edge. What you saw last drive is, and obviously we're talking about a kickoff return, but this whole game is played, you either control the middle of the field or you get to the edge and use the speed.
Here's Doss again, taking it around the left side and outrunning the defense, and then finally pushed out of bounds at about midfield. So LaSalle going to try and get something going here as they're down big in the second quarter of our game. The ball spotted on their own 48-yard line.
Hendrick coming out in a little bit different shell on defense. More of a 3 shell, which means they might be packing the box on them, which is going to take away that run up the middle.
Lucier now calling the play, looking to throw, and it's out of the reach of Michael Jordan. Nice little play there on first down that they just couldn't convert. Good idea, a little slant play as Jordan set up wide rights, and unfortunately the ball just out of his reach.
Lucier on time with the throw, and like I said, when you throw early, sometimes you miss the mark, but you'd rather do that than be late and pay the price of someone going pick 6 on you.
All right, here's the handoff, and nice little run for first down yardage and more, and finally pushed out of bounds at the 28-yard line. What a nice run there by Jacob Gibbons.
Best of both worlds right there, right? They win the battle up front, he sneaks through, and then he gets to the edge. You can see the speed.
One of the benefits of being 5'5" and being so low to the ground there.
Yeah, exactly. These guys, we call them water bugs, right? just shooting all over the pond.
All right, so LaSalle's got something going here. His first down, now deep in Hendricken territory. Ball on the 26, and the quick pass and complete, and a pickup of about 9 yards as Lucier connects with, I believe that was Cameron Montero or Michael Jordan over there on that side. Probably Jordan.
Great read by Lucier. Hendricken's got a strong safety sitting right there, but Lucier, even post-snap, saw him backing out and hit the hot. Just get it into the slot's hands and get some yak yards. Keep yourself in good position. 2nd and 2.
There's Gibbons, and it looked like he got first down yardage, and then he was literally picked up and pushed back. Is one of the negatives to being 5'5". We got the positives and the negatives.
You get crushed like a bug. I really think LaSalle has a good game plan here. They're executing. It's just the big plays that have hurt them, right? So he's popping quick passes out of his hand. They're controlling it up the middle. They're moving the ball up the middle, so they should be able to stay in this game.
All right, they got first down now. Little pass out in the flats is completes. Alfino Davis, who is their best receiver, LaSalle Academy, reeling in his first pass of the game. Surprised we haven't called his name a little bit more.
Yeah.
I know coming into this run, we thought that he was going to be a little bit more of a factor than he has been to this point of the game.
Correct, yeah. A lot of times it's about if a guy doesn't get in the flow of the game, it's like a basketball player. You want to see it go in the basket. So they're trying to feed their players and get them get themselves some confidence.
All right, here's Lucier now running it, and that is going to be, let's see, is it enough to get into the end zone? Looked like he was right on the corner there. I'm still waiting for the official signal, but I believe the way that they're celebrating on the far side of the field that LaSalle did get in. So let's see, they're bringing the ball out, maybe pushed out at the 1 yard line or a little bit less than the 1 yard line. He did run for a touchdown, okay.
That's one thing Lucier can do. He's obviously looking to pass first, but if it breaks down, just like Kamel, he has the ability to get around the edge, get up, get some yardage himself, and he sneaks in the corner of the end zone.
So that's the third running touchdown for the Rams quarterback, and it finally gets LaSalle on the board here. They trail 28-6.
You can see Lucier at the end of that play trying to get his team pumped up, trying to make something of that. Let his guys know that he's confident, that he's still in it, that his head's still where it needs to be, and that he thinks they can win the game.
And the kick is up, and it is good. So Will Bartell kicking it through the uprights, and LaSalle now has got to be feeling good about themselves offensively as they now cut into that Hendricken lead and trail 28-7.
Yeah, this game not as out of hand as it looks on the scoreboard, right? LaSalle's having some success on offense, finally punched one in. They got to remember that special teams is what has let them down, and that they just need to hold the ball. Obviously, that big fumble, and they don't need to repeat that. That's one of those ones you go, all right, you know what? I'll hold the ball the rest of the game, and we'll put some drives together. What they're hoping for is to be in this in the fourth quarter and have a chance to win, and they're going to have to chip away.
All right, so we're kick this one off. Will Bartell is setting the ball up. And back deep for Hendricken, Angel Sanchez and Helio Sousa. Penalty gives the ball, puts the ball on the 45-yard line of the Hawks, and a little chip shot here, and that is going to be actually through the uprights, and they'll bring that one out to the 20-yard line.
Both these kickers have pretty good legs for each team, and that was an easy one for him to just boot out of the back of the end zone.
So your team, when you played here, Super Bowl teams back in those years?
3 Super Bowls, sophomore, junior, senior year. That was, we were a powerhouse back then. There was a lull after me and my brother left there. Not saying that it was us, but there was a lull. And then this coaching staff right here strung together championships of recent years, and it's good to see Hendricken back on top.
Keith Croft, who's the head coach of Hendricken, actually a 95 Bishop Hendricken grad, has been head coach since 2007. And a little handoff here on first down, not going anywhere. And it's going to be second down and 10 for the Hawks.
Buddy Croft and Keith Croft do a great job. Buddy's still around. He was coaching back then. I played with Keith myself. Keith had an injury late in his career and actually became a coach on the field. A lot of these injured guys go away. You don't see them around because I can't play. I might as well not be at practice. Not Keith. I remember he was always right next to the offensive huddle, right next to the defensive huddle, helping guys out. So I think it's really in his blood.
What position did he play?
He was all over the place. He was like a linebacker / tight end type. He was a bigger, a broad-shouldered guy. But yeah, just unfortunate. I've gone through it too. I had an injury my junior year and had to see my brother take over at quarterback on this very field.
Made for some interesting family dinners, I bet.
I had to beat him out the next year. So I don't know how the Camellas decided who was going to be the quarterback, who was going to be the running back, but I'd like to hear that story.
Well, Nick Camella there with the run as he tried to get around the corner and picks up a couple of yards before being pushed out of bounds. Nick Camella and Tom Camella. Tom, the quarterback, Nick, the running back, and they have combined the Camella connection, we've called it, here, and we have an injured player down on the field.
You know, the great thing about playing with your brother is, you know, not just that it's a good time out there and that you're going to look back and enjoy it, but you're going to win some games, right? Especially with a talented family like that, you already have a built-in, you know, all-star teammate, right? Never mind that, you've got the chemistry and knowing where he's going to be. Let's not forget that one of the big plays on offense was Tom to Nick right in the red zone over here against LaSalle's defense.
So when you were growing up with your brothers, how was it determined that you were going to be the quarterback and Travis was going to be the running back and Tyler was going to be a fullback?
I don't think it ever was determined. Travis gave me a run for my money the entire time. So that it was. I had a lot of anxiety the summer after Travis won the championship when I got hurt, and I had to beat him out the next year, or at least they made it seem that way. I think maybe a tie goes to the older brother type of thing, right? So I'm not going to say I beat him out, but I had to fight to get my position back. So it's just interesting to watch two brothers out here playing and having success and hopefully put together another championship season.
Well, as you build up that competitive edge. It started in the backyard for you, as I'm sure it did for the Camellas.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up on football. There were footballs everywhere. I said, Dad, why don't we have a basketball hoop growing up? He goes, well, oh, my mistake. I must have forgot.
Did your dad play football?
My dad played tight end at URI, so
okay.
he knew what he was doing.
All right, 3rd down and 6 now for Hendricken. Man in motion. Back to pass. Camella has a wide open brother, Nick Camella, and looks like he is going to pick up 1st down yardage before scooting out of bounds.
So a timely play call by Coach Pantaleo right there. LaSalle goes man-to-man, brings a little bit of pressure, but they've got a screen off the left tackle, and that's the perfect call for that defense. They're bringing all their guys into the backfield, and you drop it over the top of them.
Well, Tom Camella is a young man who's certainly got a nice future ahead of him. What have you heard about his future plans after leaving Hendricken?
Tom and Nick, I know this. They're scratching and clawing for college offers and college looks. I know they're college material. Listen, it's tough when you're 5'8", 5'9", right? You really need to excel, and that's part of why this season's so important for those two. And a lot of these guys, when you're a under 6 foot guy, you really have to get someone's attention, and that's what this season's all about for them. But outside of winning a championship, those would be the personal goals for these guys. And they can run, so someone needs to take a look.
3rd down and 11 now for the Hawks. Man in motion's Angel Sanchez. Camella dropping back, and the rush is on, and chasing down the quarterback is number 52 for LaSalle, who gave chase on that play. And a big loss on the play as Camella was run out of bounds.
You can see Tom using his speed there. He should have probably thrown that ball away. He's got to recognize LaSalle's in man-to-man coverage, and in man, what we need to know is everyone's open, except for the post, right? So just get it out of your hands, give your receivers a chance. Yep, and he's taking some unnecessary hits there. Get the ball out of your hands.
All right, so Hendricken for the first time this evening will punt the ball away deep in their own territory. Snap, and the kick just away. Takes a nice Hendricken bounce right at midfield, and that's where it'll be down just inside of LaSalle territory. The Rams will start this series off on their own 49-yard line.
Both teams leaving their punters in some precarious situations. That one could have been blocked by LaSalle and kind of returned the favor there. But instead, they get it at midfield.
We talked at the beginning of the game about how the quarterbacks are so important. We've talked about Camella. Lucier is another one who's got some college offers. I'm told that he is down to making a choice between Brown and Georgetown.
Yeah.
A couple of great academic institutions. Of course, you would tout him on Brown University, being an alum.
Yeah, you know what? I actually spoke to Brown today. They love him. You know what they said is they love his grit. And I know they're interested, and it'll be interesting to see what he chooses. I know where I'd choose. But they said his grit and his determination is the one thing that stuck out. They saw him at camp.
Well, right now he's trying to drive against the #1 football team in high school football here in Rhode Island, and Jacob Gibbons there didn't get too far in first down. In fact, he lost a yard, so it'll be 2nd down and 11 for the Rams here, who in their last drive were able to finally put some points on the board. So here they are with some new confidence, hoping to do the same here as they trail 28-7. And here's the run by Gibbons. Gibbons around the right side, then pushed out of bounds as he gets inside the 40 to about the 37-38 yard line.
Gibbons having some success squirting through tackle gaps and getting to the edge. And I think that's his game. By the way, Brown moving to an up-tempo style as well, so Lucier would be used to that, having played here. I think it'd be a good fit. Brown is not only up-tempo now, but a lot of times going for 4th downs in the middle of the field. That's Coach Perry's coaching style, so that's something to think about for Lucier.
Well, and you talk about size and how Camella he's only 5'8". This kid, Lucier, is 6'3", and the handoff and bouncing off of tackles is Gibbons. Look at him go as he drags a couple of defenders with him and picks up about 5 yards. That kid, great example of just keep your legs moving when you've got the ball. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think Gibbons is showing a lot of heart right here. You got to understand what the scoreboard looks like to them, and what you do in that situation, if you're a captain or if you're a leader of the team, you got to show your guys that you're still fighting. You got to get the sideline up and give them something to cheer about, something to keep them in the game, and something to keep believing that they have a chance.
A lot of poise and maturity for the young running back who's only a sophomore. Now back to pass, Lucier going long to Michael Jordan, and he's got it! And it is a touchdown! What a great throw and a great catch. Nathan Lucier to Michael Jordan for 6.
Just a great throw by Lucier right there. I thought he was going to, he had him either way on the fade or the post. I was hoping he went post because it's an easier throw, but they've got the fade called or the go route on the outside, and he drops a perfect ball over the outside shoulder of his receiver, and he falls right through into the corner, the front corner of the end zone right there. That's just, you can't throw that ball any better. And what the receiver does right there is it's called be covered early, be open late. He stays covered, then pushes off right at the right time with a little chicken arm, chicken wing they call it.
You're making me hungry.
We got to get to the food trucks.
All right, the extra point is through, and in the last couple of minutes here, LaSalle has cut the Hendricken lead in half, 28-14 now with 3:28 to go in the first half. And this is what you talked about.
Right.
Get something going, get a little bit of confidence. LaSalle has certainly done that here.
Yeah, so, and they've done it on the arm of Lucier, yes, but they've done it by pounding the ball up the middle a little bit, getting off tackle a little bit, and then striking when the iron's hot and taking advantage of the Hendricken on the outsides. That was just, I think they were in a little bit of zone, but it ended up being man-to-man. All zone turns to man. So that was just a matchup, and he ended up winning the matchup. And like I said, that's a little bit of like an NFL-savvy play. Just keep him on your shoulder, and then push off so you have separation at the right time.
Well, great job there between the quarterback and the wide receiver. And LaSalle back in this game now, trailing by 2 touchdowns, but certainly feeling pretty good about the offense after scoring on 2 consecutive drives to cut the lead from 28-0 to 28-14 here in the second quarter. Now the kick down the left side, and Angel Sanchez has it, looking for room, and he is going to be tied up and dropped about the 15-yard line, and that is where the Hendricken Hawks will take over here. So you could just tell with the way that those LaSalle kids were sprinting down that they've got new blood and a lot more adrenaline flowing through their bodies now.
New life, right? So it's a game of momentum. If they could put themselves in a position where they're down by 7 going to halftime, with how high-powered their offense is, I don't think that, and especially coming back from that type of deficit, they're going to actually be the more confident team coming out of halftime.
Right. I mean, what are the chances now? The Hendricken kids are going, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Now we got a game.
Right.
All right, 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. And it is Helio Souza trying to find some room around the corner, but he is gang tackled by LaSalle. Great job on defense by the Rams to drop the Hawks for a loss.
And now the changing of the tides, right? The tide has turned. Hendricken is not able to get to the outside. So if they can, it's about adjustments. And Hendricken was getting to the outside the whole first quarter, and then they're slicing them up the middle, hitting them on the outside, slicing them up the middle. But that's the first big play where we've shown LaSalle actually stop that running back from getting to the edge.
All right, Camella brings his team up on 2nd down and 11. Deep in their own zone here. From the shotgun, man in motion, it's Sanchez. Fakes the handoff, the quarterback's gonna keep it, and he is not going anywhere. Great job again by the LaSalle defense to keep them contained.
So this can be tough because, right, LaSalle's got nothing really to lose because they're behind. So what they're doing, they're crowding the receivers, they're manning up on the outside, and they're putting everyone in the box, and they're saying, listen, we got to make a stop. And now Hendricken's that's taking them out of what they're used to, right? You're used to seeing 2 deep sets with just 7 in the box, or a 3 deep set with 4 spread out linebackers. Now they're just putting everyone up there and saying, you guys cover those guys on the outside. We're just going to blitz this kid.
So what do you do here on this play?
Well, when they play man, you got to take shots over the top. But when you're up 14, you don't necessarily feel like you want to do that, right? You want to keep the ball in your hands.
3rd and 10. Camella, the pass, trying to go over the top, and it's intercepted. Right. Michael Jordan jumping that one up, and he out-battles Angel Sanchez for that ball, and LaSalle will take over. So the turnover bug now infects Hendricken as they turn it over, and LaSalle is back in business here with under 2 to play in the first half.
Frank, you nailed the Michael Jordan.
I've been waiting for that. Little jump ball. There it is.
There we go. So LaSalle making Hendricken uncomfortable, making them have to throw over the top, and then exploiting it when they do, right? Because it's predictable. When you come up and play man, you know where the ball's going. It's going on a go route on the outside, 80% of the time.
All right, over on the sideline, the LaSalle Rams getting their instructions from head coach Jeff Marcone. Let's see what they can put together here in the final minute 43 of the first half and trailing by 2 touchdowns. But they're rolling. The LaSalle Rams on offense have scored the last 2 touchdowns here and have to be feeling good now as they try and put another 6 on the board.
Yeah, they got one of their breaks right there. Hendricken's had 3 breaks. They just got one of theirs, and they're about to see if they can capitalize.
And the handoff goes to Gibbons looking for room, and he keeps moving, and he gets it down to about the 36-yard line. So a pickup of 6 or 7 for the little running back for the LaSalle Rams. Doing such a great job out here tonight.
I like what the Hendricken interior is doing right there. They wrap him up, but then they're not stopping there. They're going for the ball. They're trying to strip him as he's on his way down. A lot of guys will relax on their way down because they think the play's over, and that's where you get that strip tackle. Exactly what they did last time.
2nd down and 5 now. Lucier looking to his left, rolling out, gonna throw it long and way down deep and almost intercepted. That ball intended for Stephen Doss, but thrown into coverage and almost picked off by the Hendricken defense.
Yeah, I think a little bit of an example of Lucier kind of forcing the issue right there. What I'm looking at is a loose 4 shell by Hendricken right there, which means that they're pretty strong deep. So what he has to do is throw some slants, throw some dig routes, throw to your running back coming out of the backfield, cross in the middle. It's not really set up to throw right into that safety. If those corners stay tight, however, you can slip in a corner sometime, but that's not what I was seeing there. I was seeing loose corners and deep safeties.
Timeout, Hendricken here. You have to wonder that ball was intended for Stephen Doss, who's 6'3". He's a tall, wide receiver.
Yeah.
And against a couple of shorter defensive backs, maybe the quarterback felt, hey, listen, if I throw it up there, a jump ball, my guy's going to get it because he's got inches over these
100%. Guys. You just have to throw the appropriate ball, right? It was off the mark, even if that was what he's thinking, right? So in high school, a lot of times you can go against the grain and throw into a coverage if you have a personnel matchup, because a lot of these guys, a lot of these superstars in high school really outmatch the DB. In college, it gets a little more evened out, right? So if he's going to do that, he just has to throw the appropriate ball and give his guy a chance.
Well, we'll see what the Rams have cooked up here as they have a big 3rd down play. 3rd down and 5. The ball on the 37-yard line. The Hendricken Hawk fans trying to get behind their defense as LaSalle, little handoff. Gibbons has it. Gibbons running, and looks like he is going to be short. just short of the first down, but we'll see where they spot the ball.
Yeah. So a manageable third down, right, gives you the entirety of your playbook, right? You can still hand the ball off. You can still throw the short and deep passes. Well, they're going to go for it here. And that's the great thing about being in midfield.
Rams 4th down and maybe a little over a yard. And let's see, will the quarterback keep it? Yes, and he's got the yardage and more. So another first down for the Rams as they now have to pay attention to the clock. A timeout called with 32 seconds left in the first half. So
just a heads-up play by Lucier. So what he did there is that he knew we're at least going to be close here, so let me get my guys to the line of scrimmage and catch this defense off guard. We know we're going quarterback sneak. Everyone knows what's going on. Let's catch them off guard, catch them with their, their hands on their knees and breathing heavy.
It was a dead giveaway. I think every offensive play has been from the shotgun, and when he gets underneath center, it's a dead giveaway. And he was kind of leaning that way, so you knew that it was going to be the quarterback keeper, and certainly enough for the first down as they move the chains. And the ball spotted on the 30-yard line, but just 32 seconds to go here in the first half. And the Rams trying to capitalize on an opportunity they got as the result of a turnover, an interception by Michael Jordan just a couple of minutes ago.
All of a sudden we have a game, and I think Hendricken might be a little bit shocked. It's like, you're winning the fight, and then you get punched in the mouth, and that can change everything. Again, what Lucier did right there. So these defensive players are used to a tempo, right? A rhythm to the game. And he changed up that rhythm right at the right time and took advantage of some guys that weren't ready for that. Great play.
All right, Lucier brings his team out. He's got the running back, Jacob Gibbons, the sophomore, to his left. Wideouts to the left and right. Looks like he wants to throw, and it is reeled in there by Stephen Doss, who falls. And the time clicking away now, 22 seconds to go. Second down play. Waiting to get his team set again, and here goes Lucier. The snap, and they'll blow the play dead here.
That's a good thing for LaSalle. They can get a plan together right here in this little break. Doss lost the ball a little bit right there. I'm sure they would have liked to get more than 4 on that hitch. The corner on the top side is just playing off, and just a great pre-snap read by Lucier.
Offside called against the Hawks, so that's going to tack 5 yards on, and we'll see. Should give them first down yardage, but still the clock now is an issue. 13 seconds to go.
Yep, he's got about 2 plays. You think 7 seconds for each play. So as a quarterback, you're going, how many times does 7 go into this?
Oh, here's the rush. And flag flies as Lucier lets it go, and that is picked off.
Might be
it is ruled incomplete, but a flag flies. You got to believe when it comes from the official in the backfield that it's holding, and we'll see what the play call is here as our referee is standing over that flag.
Yep.
And holding is the call against LaSalle. So 2 seconds to go, one play, got to throw it up. It's going to be a jump ball in the end zone, you got to believe, right?
Yeah, you got to put it in the end zone unless they bring out their field goal kicker here. So a lot of times that holding happens when the quarterback starts scrambling around behind the line of scrimmage because these linemen are already holding. When the quarterback gets outside the pocket, that's when the ref realizes he's holding because you see the jerseys get stretched out. So they're backed up. There looks like they're out of field goal range, so they're going to have to throw one in the end zone here.
They'll back that ball up to the 35-yard line, and now one last conference for the LaSalle Rams here in the first half. Jeff Marcone, head coach of the LaSalle Rams, number 2 ranked team in the state. Both teams coming into this matchup undefeated this year. And we've got a couple of nice interviews coming up at halftime. We'll talk with the head coach of the Hendricken Hawks, Keith Croft, and also the president of Bishop Hendricken High School. Will talk about the 60th anniversary of Bishop Hendricken. So that's Father Robert Marciano will be joining us, and we'll have some first half stats as we look at the league standings here in Rhode Island's Division 1A. Bishop Hendricken with a 3-0 record. They have wins over Cranston West, Cumberland, and North Kingstown. Over on 1B, LaSalle sits atop the standings there with a 2-0 record. They have wins over South Kingstown and Moses Brown. All right, one final play here in the first half. Lucier.
Hendricken only got 2 deep back there. Hopefully these corners.
He's looking now, and he is going to be dropped, and that will mark the end of the first half. So, short of this last drive, it's been a entertaining first half. The first 28 points scored by Hendricken, but it is LaSalle coming back to score the next 2 touchdowns, and they've cut into that Hendricken lead and trail here at the half by a score of 28-14. So the teams will take a little bit of a break, and we will too. Our halftime show coming up in just a minute. Stay tuned here on YurView.
Game time high school football action on YurView is sponsored by Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car. Football fans, join us each and every Friday for some of the top high school teams from around the country on YurView. Live stream games, in-depth behind-the-scenes coverage, podcasts, and more. Check it out at YurView.com.
I didn't tell you guys about the game the other day. My seats were right behind.
You're not thinking about if you set the alarm before leaving the house. You're thinking about how you caught the home run that extended the series to 7. You're thinking you finally have a baseball story to rival theirs. You're thinking about how you caught the ball barehanded without spilling a drop. You're not thinking about if you set the alarm. Well, maybe just a little. Stay close to the moments that matter. Cox Home Life will take care of the rest.
Buy brand new movies instantly with Contour from Cox.
We are the Men in Black, the best kept secret in the galaxy.
I want in. Check, please.
Now, this is a very complicated piece of machinery.
Yeah, got it.
Men in Black International. Purchase movies right from your remote. Download them to go and watch anywhere, anytime on your mobile devices. Start building your digital video library now.
Take a dash of regular guy.
I'm torn.
And a tablespoon of creativity.
It will make you a star in your home with your friends and family.
Add a splash of effort and a lot of fun.
I love tailgate day. Yeah, look how beautiful that is.
And you have a recipe for inspiring meals.
You can pull off things that are pretty good by cheating a little bit. So good, so good. Sam the Cooking Guy, we're here for you, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta watch.
Sam the Cooking Guy, only on YurView.
Game Time League standings are brought to you by Ortho Rhode Island. To make an appointment, visit orthopedic.com or call 401-777-7000. Ortho Rhode Island, caring for every move.
Welcome back to halftime here in Warwick, Rhode Island at Bishop Hendricken High School. The Hawks and LaSalle Rams doing battle at the top 2 teams in the state of Rhode Island. And joining me now is the president of Bishop Hendricken High School, Father Robert Marciano. What a great atmosphere it is here tonight,
What
Father.
a great night, a great evening, a terrific competition with a great school. LaSalle is our partner in education as far as excellence in Catholic education. So we're thrilled to have him here on the better campus called Hendricken. So,
well, congratulations, the 60th anniversary that you're celebrating at Bishop Hendricken High School.
60 years. We started in September of 1959 with the generosity of the Morris family. They donated this property, and since then we've educated thousands of young men to be leaders in faith and in economics and in education. We've really got a great group of alumni of our alumni tent celebrating this night.
I know you've only been in your position since January of this year, but you're an alum. Was that a prerequisite for you getting the gig?
I'm not sure, but the price was right. So class of 75, and my policy since I left is I never say no to Hendricken. So I said yes. We're moving ahead with a great new curriculum called Inspire, and we're leading the way in academics and sports and drama and production. We're proud of what we have, and the future looks bright for Hendricken.
The type of students that you get here at Bishop Hendricken High School, has that changed at all since when you attended here as a student?
Oh, Frank, big time. When I was here, it was a bunch of white kids from Warwick, and now we're a very diverse group, probably about 30% diversity. We attract a lot of young men from all over the state, and we offer scholarships and an aid and tuition so everybody can come to Hendricken. Catholic education is for everybody, not just for select.
Well, you've got a great celebration going on here for your 60th anniversary with a huge crowd, the food trucks, and then fireworks afterwards. You guys really know how to do it. Congratulations again.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks for helping us out.
Father Marciano, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, more halftime activities coming your way right after this.
Welcome to our East Providence location. East Providence location was actually in Seekonk. Maybe about 10 years ago, moved it to East Providence, about a mile down the road. That's where our new Mitsubishi franchise is.
We sell new and used, but the ones displayed are all new Mitsubishis. But we have a good selection of new Mitsubishis from all makes and models for the Mitsubishi lineup, which is mostly SUVs and small economical cars.
New Mitsubishis in the showroom with pre-owned Mitsubishis and all other makes and models as well.
We have about 300 cars in stock, new and used. We have a good size showroom, and all of that is going to be upgraded to the new Mitsubishi look. We're now a new Mitsubishi dealer, going to be one of the first ones in New England, and we should be starting construction soon. We have 3 managers, 2 a finance manager, and we have about 10 salespeople to serve you. We have about 30 employees in the East Providence location.
We have customer support staff in each store there as well. Most of the logistics comes out of this store from the office here, but they're like little substations, so to speak.
We have 5 mechanics for new and used. We have the service/parts manager.
Those guys are very efficient, getting the vehicles in, analyzing them, getting them repaired. God forbid something does happen to one of the vehicles.
They all have a lot of experience. They all ASE certified. They've been certified by Mitsubishi to work on new cars, even the new PHEV, which is an all-electric SUV.
Some dealerships will just stuff people in whatever car they can. What we do is we interview people. We want to know how they can afford it, if they can afford it, and make sure that they can afford it before they drive off.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Welcome back to halftime. Bishop Hendricken and LaSalle here in Warwick, Rhode Island. I'm Frank Carpano, joined by the head coach of the Hawks, Keith Croft, and what a great atmosphere for a high school football game. How much do you look forward to this night each year?
Oh, it's just exciting. It's great to be a part of, and it's big for the alumni and the players and the coaches. A lot of fun.
The preparation for a week like this, is it a little bit more intense than it is for any other opponent?
Yeah, it's a little different. There's more to it. It's more than just the game. You're reconnecting with alumni and former players, so it's special.
That means you're taking a lot of phone calls?
Phone calls and texts and emails, and try to manage it.
What is it like going up against LaSalle for so many years? You guys have squared off in the final game of the year, the Super Bowl. It really is quite a rivalry.
It is. It's just a lot of mutual respect. Me and Jeff we're really good friends, and we're close, and we respect each other's program and the talent that's come through both programs.
Speaking of talent, the talent that's come through Bishop Hendricken and gone on to great things. A couple of kids who are playing big-time college football, Quiddy Pay and Xavier Truss.
We're really happy. It's great for them. It's great for our program. It's great for Rhode Island, and we really want all our kids to play college football and get an education and just make a real difference in people's lives.
And then when you heard the news that Will Blackman was going to get a workout for the Oakland Raiders over in London tomorrow, what do you think of that?
Yeah, Will. He's a timeless competitor. He just never stops. I'm really happy for him. Will is kept in great shape, and he's been great for our program, and he's stayed in touch, so I'm happy for him.
Well, much success, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, Keith Croft, head coach of Bishop Hendricken High School. Second half of the game is coming up. We'll also have some first half highlights and stats when we return.
Buy brand new movies instantly with Contour from Cox.
Has fast food truly turned a corner? Something tells me this calls for a different approach.
I want to start my own fast food restaurant.
You're crazy.
Tell me what kind of food.
The most eaten animal on the planet, chicken.
Super Size Me 2, Holy Chicken. Purchase movies right from your remote. Download them to go and watch anywhere, anytime on your mobile devices. Start building your digital video library now.
Hello, and welcome to Asian Voices. We are your source for Asian and Pacific Islander culture, lifestyle, and entertainment. I'm Kathleen Choi, and I'll see you on Asian Voices.
Watch Asian Voices, Sunday on YurView.
Buy brand new movies instantly with Contour from Cox.
There is a lot of evil in this room. The doll is a beacon for other spirits.
Annabelle Comes Home. Purchase movies right from your remote. Download them to go and watch anywhere, anytime on your mobile devices. Start building your digital video library now.
It's Season 3 of Closet Factory's Operation Reorganization.
If you need an organizational solution, this is it.
See how Closet Factory designers turn the ordinary into something extraordinary.
Probably one of the best investments we've made thus far.
See amazing before and afters with all great design ideas. Designed around smarter storage and organization. See how Closet Factory builds solutions for every room. Operation Reorganization, Season 3, only on YurView.
Welcome back to halftime of the Hendricken-LaSalle game, the rivalry game here in Warwick, Rhode Island. Top two teams in the state of Rhode Island, and the Hawks of Hendricken with a 28-14 lead over LaSalle. As we take a look back at the first half highlights in the first quarter, it was all Hendricken, and they scored first. Tom Camella with a quarterback keeper made it 7-0, capping a nice drive for the Hawks.
Couple key quarterback keepers in this game so far.
And then the second score of the game as a result of this blocked punt and then falling on it in the end zone. Actually, it produced this run. It was Helio Souza running it in from about 6 yards out, 14-0. And then later in the first quarter, history repeats itself. Another block punt. Angel Sanchez with a block, and Braden Durand taking it into the end zone, 21-0. But a different story in the second half.
Tail of the game right there is punt blocks. Brandon Duran making his mark on this huge rivalry as a sophomore, and Hendricken capitalizing on those big plays.
Then in the second quarter, here it is, Lucier, the quarterback. He is going to take it into the end zone to finally put LaSalle on the board, 28-7.
Lucier getting loose right there, and this one was just a perfect throw. You can't throw it up any better. It's actually really good coverage by Hendricken, but they just, when it's man-to-man, it's about making plays. And like I said, that was a savvy play by that receiver.
Michael Jordan on the receiving end of that one, so that's where we stand now. 28-14, Hendricken here at the half over LaSalle. More on YurView after this.
Untapped VA, the show about making beer, sampling beer, and enjoying beer. Discover craft beer each week on Untapped VA. Watch Untapped VA exclusively on YurView.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get access to super fast in-home Wi-Fi to power all your devices and do the things you love online. And now, when you're traveling, you have free access to the nation's largest Wi-Fi network with over 500,000 hotspots, so you can stay connected in places such as New York City, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, and many more. Learn how with the Cox Discover More video series at cox.com/learn.
Jeanette, you know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We can find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
Cooking from the Heart, Monday at 9 p.m., only on YurView. You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Welcome back here to Warwick, Rhode Island. Some halftime stats. Hendricken and LaSalle pretty much even on the passing yards. LaSalle with an edge in rushing yardage, but turnovers, the big story here as we kick off the third quarter, and Hendricken will be on offense first, and looks like there's a loose ball, and this on the far side of the field. We'll see what the officials say, and it's going to be LaSalle football. So a big boost for the LaSalle Rams to start the third quarter here as they reel in a loose ball on the kickoff return, and they will take over here first down deep in Hendricken territory.
Like you were saying, it's a game of turnovers, and I don't know if that goes down as a turnover, but it's just as good for LaSalle right now. So we kind of even the score on the turnover battle, and we see if they can kind of pull within 7 here.
All right, so here comes LaSalle now as they finish the first half on offense, and they'll start the third quarter on offense here. Nate Lucier with Jacob Gibbons in the backfield, and they're waiting for the chains to move here. Be first down, and that ball spotted, looks like it's on the 22, 23-yard line. So LaSalle trying to cut further into Hendricken's lead. The Hawks with a 28-0 lead in the second quarter before LaSalle put 2 scores on the board to cut it to our current score, which is 28-14.
Such a killer right there with that recovery, because you know what every team says at halftime? Hey, I know they put a little fight in, they gave us a little fight in the second half, but we get the ball coming out. We get the ball coming out is the mantra at halftime. But now it's like, oh, I guess we were wrong. They get the ball because we didn't handle our business on kickoff return.
All right, LaSalle taking it back into the huddle here as we have something going on over on the sideline here with one of the officials. There's a problem with one of the yard markers that they're working on. It looks like there's about 8 or 10 people trying to figure this out. I don't know whether the chain may be tangled a little bit as they try and untangle it here over on the far side of the 30-yard line. Some major surgery going on here for one of the yard markers. Got to have that before we can play.
It looks like Hendricken's going to be good with staying in this 4 shell or this 2 shell, which, like I said, is going to leave only 7 in the box for them. And if we look at the stats, the most glaring difference was the rushing yards for LaSalle versus Hendricken's rushing yards. So it'd be interesting in the red zone to see if they can just pound it up the middle and fall in the end zone.
I don't know that I've ever seen this happen before, where it's probably a chain that's all tangled up so that when they stretch the 2 stakes out, it's less than 10 yards. You know, you got to make sure it's right.
First and 4.
So you're witnessing a first here in our telecast tonight of the Bishop Hendricken and LaSalle game. Some of the game plan goes flying there for the coaches.
This is a good thing for Hendricken to kind of kill some of that momentum coming off of that kickoff recovery.
Yes, yes. Because as fast as LaSalle wants to play, I'm sure that as disappointed as Hendricken was,
100%.
Now they have time to get over it,
right,
and to think and to get refocused.
What a lot of teams do when there's a big turnover, even at midfield, but especially toward the red zone, they'll take a shot at the end zone right away just to keep riding that momentum. So it'll be interesting to see here if they try to keep doing what they've been doing up the middle, or if he takes a shot on the outside.
Take another look at those halftime stats and the rushing yards.
Yeah.
LaSalle with a big edge there, 107 yards to 26, and And much of that courtesy of Jacob Gibbons, who did such a great job running there in the first half and picking up extra yardage after the first hit that he takes.
Yep.
The second effort yardage that he picked up was really significant for the Rams.
Showing a lot of grit. I think Lucier has shown a lot of grit with how he's leading this team, and Gibbons showing a lot of grit with how he's running the ball. But that's such a glaring stat right there, 26 rushing yards to 107. To look at the scoreboard, you'd think you were crazy looking at that, but it's a game of turnovers, so now they're swung back in LaSalle's favor. If they can take some pride in that stat and just ride that out, they will have a chance at the end of this game.
Well, Gibbons has got 5 touchdowns coming into this game, has rushed 22 times for 134 yards, so he's their main guy when it comes to running the ball, and we've certainly been able to see here tonight how talented that young man is, even at his small stature, just 5'5", but I tell you what, he's got a huge heart, a lot of second effort on his runs, and that's produced a lot of extra yardage here that has benefited LaSalle. So the surgery continues over on the sideline on one of the yard markers as they're trying to straighten things out here. And we wait.
Like I said, I think this is big for Hendricken. Look, they're putting a plan together. They're caught off guard. All of a sudden, the defense doesn't expect to be out there. They're out there, and LaSalle's within striking distance. Now they're huddled up with their coach, getting extra instruction, easing their minds, saying, all right, you know what? We're still ahead by 14. Let's play from here. Let's force them to a field goal situation, and let's ride our lead.
All right, let's look at the league standings here in Division I, the highest division in Rhode Island Interscholastic League. Bishop Hendricken 3-0 so far this season, and their 3 wins coming against Cranston West, Cumberland, and last week they beat North Kingstown. Pretty tough opponent. 42-34 was the final on that one.
Yeah.
Hendricken coming up with the win.
Yeah, they that's not an ordinary score for Hendricken, so that tells me that North Kingstown's going to be someone to reckon with in this league.
There you see LaSalle sitting atop the Division 1B standings. Success, surgery completed, and we're ready for football once again. 1st and 10 for LaSalle, and there's the handoff. It's Gibbons going up over the right side, and he gets ahead for another 2 yards, perhaps as far as the 20-yard line. Yep. So now they're trying to get the juices flowing again after a good 5 to almost 10-minute delay here while they fix the yard markers and trying to implement another good offensive game plan here and cut into this Hendricken lead a little bit more.
LaSalle wants more than that on first down. It's about a gain of 2, so now they're in 2nd and long. You know, it's a long medium, and Hendricken likes that. So that's what. Oh, you get a hand on it. Tip ball.
Tip ball that falls incomplete, and lucky because there was a lot of traffic around there, could have easily been intercepted.
And that's what I'm saying. So you get in 2nd and 8, and what do? Now you got to throw the ball because you know you're behind. So it's a lot like baseball. Are you ahead in the count or are you behind in the count? And LaSalle's behind in the count there, so you got to do something they haven't had a lot of success with this game.
All right, Lucier handing out assignments here as he steps in the backfield. Right behind him is his running back Gibbons. 3rd and 8, and he's going to hand it to Gibbons, and Gibbons goes nowhere. So he is stacked up almost at the line of scrimmage and actually loses a yard on the play, and we've got 4th down now for the Rams.
So if you look at what happened right there, they've got 7 in the box, yes, but they're rolling their strong safety. Hendricken is now strong and hard downfield, so they basically have 8 in the box. That's a run-stopping sort of look, and that's going to force LaSalle to kind of bring back the passing attack. They're only going to sit back in that 4 shell for so long.
All right, 4 down territory here for the Rams. They've got an opportunity. They want to try and capitalize. 4th and 10. Lucier calling signals, man in motion. Lucier back to throw, looking left, and he's going to run. And he's got traffic and now bounces off of a couple of tacklers, and that's not going to be enough for a 1st down as he is taken down just inside the 20-yard line, about 4 yards short of the 1st down. So Hendricken will take over on offense here, first time in the 3rd quarter.
Big hit right there. Lucier stayed on his feet and fought for extra yards.
Here he is looking to throw to the left, but nobody open, so he's going to take it himself. And then he runs into traffic. The big hits by number 42, Brandon Duran. And we've mentioned his name a couple of times tonight.
Yeah, Brandon Duran certainly making his mark on that game. You'd like to see him wrap up right there, but a lot of times these linebackers, when they get the blind shot, they want to put their shoulder in and throw their shoulder into especially when it's a quarterback.
Did you take a couple of shots like that?
Oh, a couple, yeah.
All right, so 1st and 10 for the Hawks here on their own 20-yard line. Tom Camella calling signals. And looks like LaSalle jumps off here. So the flags fly, and we'll see how they rule this one.
It looks, I think it's on LaSalle. Camella seems to be doing a pretty good job with the snap count, varying it and using it. You know, 1st and 10 is not a bad time to use your snap count. Like I said, that'll help you get ahead in the count if you can draw that defense off, and that's a great way to start a drive. You want to use it when you're even or behind in the count, or when you've got that 3rd and short situation, and Camella seems to be aware of that.
So the penalty goes against LaSalle, offside, so a free 5 yards for the Hendricken Hawks. They'll have 1st down and 5 now. As Camella comes back from the sideline into the huddle, calls the play, and here come the Hawks. 3rd quarter underway here in Warwick, 28-14, Bishop Hendricken leading LaSalle. And the quarterback will keep it. Camella around the right side looking for the sideline, and he is out of bounds after picking up the 1st down, pushed out at about the 35, 36-yard line. So they'll move the stakes, and a 1st down coming up for the Hawks.
Right there, another thing I think is a key to this game is why let Camella outside? Force him to stand there. You know, you got it. Not that his height has ever really affected him, but I'd much rather have a short passer from inside the pocket than outside. He's got much better vision out there, and certainly he can use his speed out there.
First and 10, ball on the 37, 38-yard line. Camella, the handoff, trying to find some room, and then taken down after a pickup of about 3 yards.
Yeah, not much there. LaSalle's manned up, like I said, on the outside, right? So what that does for your defense is allows you to pack more guys in the middle, right? So that now they can try to run stop. It's almost the opposite of what Hendricken's doing on defense. Hendricken's got that umbrella defense, and they're a little bit light in the middle. LaSalle's got manned up outside. You guys handle your business outside so we can pack the box.
All right, 2nd down and 6 now for Hendricken.
No safety even in the game for LaSalle. Everyone's up crowding the line.
Little fumble there on the snap. Camella now trying to make something out of nothing, and he's not going anywhere. Going to be a loss on the play as Camella couldn't get a handle on the snap. Trying to figure out whether, I think the snap was pretty good. Camella may have been looking before he caught the snap on that play.
He definitely lost the handle for a second. I was just going to say, I think he was about to go downtown right there because they're forcing the issue. What they're doing is they're just crowding the line. Say, hey, throw a deep ball. You know, and he's going to have to hit one of those in order to change the tide of this game.
Couldn't believe his good fortune there that he probably had somebody open downfield, but fumbled that snap. Let's see what happens here now on 3rd down and 10. Camella looking to the sideline now. Calling the play, maybe switching up the play, and there's the snap. Looking downfield, and he's going to go long, and that is incomplete, but it's going to be pass interference against the LaSalle Rams.
Not a bad spot for that ball. He put it over the outside shoulder. It looks like what that defender was doing is he knew he got beat deep. He knew that Tom put a good ball on him, so he basically grabbed the jersey to mitigate the touchdown. It's not an awful play if you know you're getting beat for a touchdown.
Well, there were 2 receivers headed downfield along with a pair of defenders, and they were going stride for stride here, and unfortunately got tripped up right. Well, no, it was pulled. It was Alfino Davis who pulled back on Helio Sousa, and that was a very obvious pass interference call.
If you look there in the pink sleeves, they've got Angel Sanchez, and what he's doing is he's eating up his defender and the safety because they know that he's the threat that they usually hit downfield, and that's going to man up 2 on the outside.
All right, so 1st down now for the Hawks as they're inside of LaSalle territory on the 48-yard line. And the quick handoff up the middle and a big gang tackle for LaSalle. And that is going nowhere, maybe even a loss of one. We'll see where they set up the ball. Still in LaSalle territory, again back at the original line of scrimmage, the 48-yard line.
Yeah, this might force them into a passing situation. They want to get at least 5 here, and they don't. They definitely don't want to be in 3rd and 10. But if you look at what LaSalle did right there on defense, all of a sudden Hendricken goes deep, and what they do, they put a safety back, right? So that you got sometimes going deep isn't just about hitting it; it's about loosening that defense up and letting them know I will strike deep if you don't respect it.
It's the game within the game here.
100%.
2nd down and 10. Camella makes the handoff, play action now, looking deep, trying to find some room, and he's going to tuck it in and run it. And it looks like he goes out of bounds before they pick up 1st down yardage. Kind of tough to see along the sideline here. There's a lot of the Hendricken sideline players that are in front of us.
So it might be 3rd and 6, something like that.
They're going to mark the ball at the 44-yard line.
I'd like to see Tom get rid of the ball right there. I think he had a chance on the sideline with the go route on the sideline. He's rolling towards him. He's got a good view of it. And it's man, so you got to give your guys a chance. But what's great about Tom Camella is that he can decide to do that because he can pick up 5 with his feet. He can pick up more than 5. He can pick up 50 right here with his feet if there's a missed tackle.
It's a nice extra dimension that they add to the Hendricken offense here. 3rd down and 6. Camella looks, quick pass.
Nice timing.
He has got a man pushed out of bounds. The reception by Jordan Robbins along the sideline here gives the Hawks a 1st down.
Jordan Robbins, a young talent there. He's going to be a big name. What's great right there is just the timing of Camella. He throws it. The receiver's not even out of his break until, when the ball's out of his hand, and that's the only way that ball gets in there. That's tight coverage. Then only timing and accuracy can beat that.
Well, 1st down yardage and then some as the ball spotted on the 33-yard line here with 6:50 left in the 3rd quarter, and Bishop Hendricken with a 2-touchdown lead and driving again in LaSalle territory. Here's Camella now with an empty backfield. Man in motion, fakes the handoff, looking down the middle, and he's got a man, and in and out of the hands of the receiver. That was Angel Sanchez who had it and couldn't hold on.
Man, a great ball, rare drop by Sanchez. He's got such good hands, and you see what Tom's doing right there. He's just putting the ball out there because the kid's so fast, he usually can't overthrow him. He throws it early, on time.
Had separation.
It's a great ball.
Oh, boy.
He wishes he had that one back. He'll usually make that play. Such a good play call right there to take a shot. Like we said, they need to know that they'll test them deep.
So 2nd down now. What are the chances he goes back to him again?
2nd, they want to get 5 here. So they're behind in the count. I think they want to get 5. They'll probably give him a little read option here, or a hitch on the outside.
And over in the left side, the connection there. Camella connecting with number 13, Jordan Robbins.
There's Jordan Robbins again, so making 2 big plays. But like I said, another little 5-yard out so they can get back in the count.
And we have a LaSalle player who is down. As we look at this play one more time.
This will give them a 3rd and manageable 3. Great catch.
Looks like maybe a little cramping. Player who's on the field here. Stretch it out. Hopefully he'll be okay.
Sometimes guys will go down just to give their team a break, right? LaSalle's got to be huffing and puffing. This is hard on the defense to keep going when a team's starting to put a drive together. So like we had for Hendricken with the chains being messed up over there, they get a little break on defense. Same here with LaSalle. So it's interesting how both teams are kind of getting the same breaks in this game. First Hendricken, then LaSalle. Tom Camella showing great timing on both those throws. In man coverage, there's going to be big separation at the break. When he makes his break, he's got 3-yard separation automatically. And then that separation starts to dwindle because the receiver looks back for the ball while the DB gets in a sprinting position to try to get back on your hip. So the timing of it's so key. In zone, it's a little bit different because you're throwing through holes. In man, it's like you got a window and then it's closed. You got a window and then it's closed. So Tom's kind of showing, the work he's put in over the 3 years as far as how to be a polished passer and not just a run-first guy.
Well, that was perfectly executed, as you mentioned. As soon as the wide receiver made his cut, the ball was right there, and it was a nice pickup for Hendricken here as we await the player to be helped off the fields. And he is making his way off now as everybody gets a bit of a breather here. And a third down play coming up for Hendricken here in the third quarter.
This puts them in such a manageable situation. So like I said prior, they have their whole playbook available to them on 3rd and 3. And it's 3rd and 8, you have only a certain amount of plays. That's why, fans will be like, why aren't they throwing past the sticks? Well, we only have so many plays. So now every play that they run should get them this first down. And that puts the defense in a precarious situation, not knowing what's coming at them. 2nd and 8, we knew where they were throwing the flat because we knew they want 5. Right now, we don't know where they're going with this play call.
All right, 3rd down and about 3 now. Ball set up on the left hash mark and the 26-yard line. Scamella from the shotgun. Man in motion.
Man on the edges.
And great pursuits by LaSalle's number 44. That's Joseph McNamara, who's got 23 tackles coming into this game, one of the top tacklers for LaSalle, and he pushes Hendricken way back, and they'll have 4th down now.
It looks like Tom's a little bit upset. Maybe a miscommunication there, someone not running the route he was expecting. Because he looked a little bit perturbed coming off the field, and that's the thing. That would logically make sense to me, because in man you'd think he knew where to go with that ball. There's only so many options. There's nothing to read, just guys running away from other guys.
So a 4th and 15 now, and Camella comes back into the huddle. Looks like they're going to go for it here on the 37, 38-yard line.
Watch for Angel Sanchez here. This is a great time for a corner or a corner post by Sanchez in the slot. Right. And doesn't look like they have a safety deep, so they're going to get away with it right here.
There's
corner.
The throw, and almost intercepted. Did he reel it in? No, incomplete. For a second there, it looked like Sanchez had it, and then the defender had a finger on it, and it finally fell to the turf, incomplete. So LaSalle will take over here as Hendricken loses it on downs.
Just what we called there, the corner from the slot from Sanchez, their top playmaker out at wide receiver. I think maybe just if he could get it out of his hands, I'm nitpicking here, but a little bit early he has a chance for him. So that's a flattened out corner against a cover 2 look. That's a soft spot in that zone. But it's tough to throw that flat corner because their safety can now undercut that throw. It doesn't drop in like a big corner route.
All right, so a big break for LaSalle, who now have a chance to make a drive of their own to cut into this Hendricken lead. The Hawks leading it by a score of 28-14. A rematch of the two teams that played in last year's high school Super Bowl here in Rhode Island. And the handoff on 1st down, and Gibbons has it, and Gibbons running and finally chopped down at about the 44-yard line after a pickup of 7 yards.
Hendricken sitting in sort of an aggressive cover 4 look, four safeties, if you will, 2 safeties and 2 corners, but all at about 8 yards and just coming downhill strong when they see the run.
So we mentioned that LaSalle likes to play quick, and they're already back up at the line of scrimmage here as the defense tries to set. And here's 2nd down. Gibbons again looking for room, nowhere this time, as he is dropped for a loss on the play. Wasn't going to fool anybody on that one, as probably 5 or 6 white jerseys were quickly around him to drop him for the loss.
Yeah, late in the second quarter, it looked like LaSalle was going to be able to control the middle of the line of scrimmage there, and Hendricken's kind of answered back and kind of plugged those holes. So LaSalle's going to have to try to find some other way to move the ball here.
All right, big 3rd down play, 3rd down and 5. And the handoff again to Gibbons. Gibbons right upfield, got the 1st down and then more, down to the 40, 35, and finally dropped at the 30-yard line. Wow, right up the middle goes Jacob Gibbons for the big pickup, a 1st down and more for the Rams.
He does not need a lot of room. Tiny crease, and he's through there for what, a 25-yard gain? Great job by the Hendricken corner not letting him bounce that to the outside, because once Gibbons gets on the outside, it's a touchdown.
All right, 1st down, quick pass, and intercepted.
Mistake.
The Hawks intercept this ball, and they will take over. Wow.
It looked like a miscommunication. I think Lucier thought he was going to cut in front of his face, and what he did is just converted the route to a go route there. Yeah, they might get away with it if we got a penalty on Hendricken. Nope.
Michael Jordan was the intended receiver, and he just outran that pass. No, actually maybe underthrown a little bit.
I think Lucier thought he was going to run an in cut, right? And a lot of times, if the corner sits too heavy or any DB sits too heavy, you'll convert that route to a go route. It's like playing in the backyard. Well, if he's going to sit there, I might as well run past him for a touchdown. And they just weren't on the same page. That's one time that timing can beat you if you're not on the same page and with your receiver.
All right, back we go to the Hendricken Hawks offense. Two brothers there, the twin brothers. Number 20, the running back, is Nick Camella. His brother Tom is the quarterback. There's the snap, and Tom is going to take it himself around the right side, looking for the corner, trying to cut it upfield, and he does before being pushed out of bounds. And we'll see where they mark this one. That looks like he has got first down yardage. We'll see exactly where they mark it.
Tom Camella and Nick Camella are like, I think they're 4'4", 4'5", 40 guys, right? So this corner on the outside on LaSalle has to fight a lot harder to get upfield and really force him back inside. And they're not quite doing that right now. And that's given him, what do you get right there, 10 yards?
Plus probably about 15 yards.
15 yards,
yeah.
Just on a simple quarterback around the edge. There's no deception in that play.
Ball spotted on the 39-yard line, first down. Camella looking, wants to run, tucks it in, he's got it. And he is up to the 45-yard line, a pickup of 6 yards for the quarterback, who's picking up some big yardage now with his legs.
That's another dimension of his game right there. So that wasn't even just his speed. That was a make-him-miss type of quarterback weaving his way through traffic. And he has that element, which makes you so dangerous, because if you can make a guy miss and bounce it to the outside, now you've got problems. Now they're ahead in the count, so they may take a shot. If they like it, what they're going to do is look at the defense, see if they like the outside. Maybe take a shot because they're ahead in the count. They got one to give. It's second and what, 3?
Second and 3. Man in motion.
Nope.
And it's Camella, wants it. And he stretches out, picks up maybe a yard on the play, but still short of the first down.
Little ride fake by Tom Camella, which is going to stretch those linebackers out and give him room to weave his way back through the middle like he did on that last one. I thought that Hendricken, for a while I thought they weren't going to come back to the pass, but it seems like Coach Pantaleo is really varying up his count, varying up the calls he's making, and I don't think LaSalle really has a beat on what Hendricken's doing to them.
Well, we're going to have a little measurement here. As originally called 3rd and inches, we're going to see how close they came to the first down as the markers come out. And they'll stretch out the chains.
It's 28-14. You got to remember, Hendricken should have another touchdown with that drop to Sanchez, right?
Right.
99 times out of 100, he makes that play. So LaSalle's lucky to still be right in this game, got a fighting chance.
Well, it's a first down by half a football for the Hendricken Hawks. They got first down now, a yard away from midfield, their own 49-yard line. And with a 2-touchdown lead here as the time ticks down in the third quarter, 2.5 minutes to play. Sanchez in motion. Camella drops back to pass. Now looking for room, and he will zip out of bounds into LaSalle territory at about the 49-yard line. So not the intended play. I think
he's not pulling the trigger, and it might be because LaSalle's doing a great job in man on the outside. LaSalle's got great athletes out there. So ideally you want to throw it out of the break, but Tom, fortunately, is getting 5 every time he decides to tuck it, right? So you can't blame him for doing it because he knows he's got that element. Guys like me, we have to throw it out of the break because we can't scrimp. Well, maybe when I was younger.
Did you run the ball a lot when you were playing quarterback?
When I was here, I wish we had this offense. We were running triple option, every single left, right, left. We basically just call it left. Everyone knew what the play was.
Second down, we got a penalty flag flying, and it's Angel Sanchez with the ball, and he is pushed out of bounds at the 30-yard line, but we'll see what the penalty call is here.
That's that PlayStation spin right there. That shows his basketball capabilities.
It's going to come back, illegal procedure against Hendricken. So the nice run.
All for naught.
All for naught.
But Angel Sanchez just showing athleticism right there. Sneaks up the middle. Shows a little bit of toughness too. Spins in and gets back to the right outside, which is hard to do.
All right, that pushes the ball back inside of Hendricken territory, 45-yard line. Glad you're with us tonight. Frank Carpano, Kyle Rowley, and Warwick, Rhode Island. Top 2 teams in the state of Rhode Island, Hendricken and LaSalle doing battle. And Hendricken winning the battle here in the third quarter, 28-14.
Way behind in the count here with the 2nd and 14, it looks like.
And it's the quarterback who wants to run with it. He spins a little bit, and that's going to pick up maybe a couple of yards. He faked the pitch to his brother to his right and then decided to tuck it in, and he was met with some white jerseys.
That's tough right there. I would have liked to see them go to some sort of intermediate passing game right there. But the thing about Hendricken is you can't tell whether that was the play call out of the huddle or whether that was the check that Camella went to.
So 3rd down and 12 now for the Hawks. Souza splits out wide to the right.
This is a situation where they could try to get half of this if they know they're going to go for it on 4th down, being right around midfield.
Here's Camella looking way downfield and intercepted. The Rams of LaSalle intercepted. It was Stephen Doss who picked it off as it was thrown into 2-man coverage there, and LaSalle will take over.
So that's the problem there, right? They know they've got you in 3rd and 12, right? They know they've got you in 3rd and about 14, maybe it looked like. So they're predicting that you're gonna throw a deep ball on them, and they're ready for it. That's why I'm saying you get 6.
Prestige Automat, home of the guaranteed credit approval, or the card is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Automat, a better way to buy a car.
At People's Credit Union, we believe banking is more than just a thing you do. It's an important part of your bigger picture, a journey that grows with you. We'd like to help you with your financial roadmap, be your go-to. We believe in taking the time to know you, moving you in the right direction, and lending a helping hand by providing banking solutions that work for you and your family. At People's Credit Union, we believe in your dreams because they're our dreams too.
Welcome back. LaSalle on offense here in the 3rd quarter. And the faked pass and the handoff goes to number 11, who's handled the bulk of the work for the Rams tonight. Running the ball is Jacob Gibbons. Gibbons picks up a yard or 2, and it's going to be 2nd down. Let's call it a 3-yard game for the Rams, as they are deep in their own territory. The ball now spotted on the 26-yard line.
LaSalle could end up with 200 yards on the ground by the end of this game, but the scoreboard's not telling that story, and Hendricken's happy to let them do it because they've got a 14-point lead, and we're in the 2nd half here.
Loose here, the handoff again to Gibbons, looking to find room, dancing outside, but no go as he is pulled down by Angel Sanchez. So a loss on the play of about a yard. So now 3rd down and probably 7 or 8 yards here for the Rams.
Hendricken's got such speed at outside linebacker. It seems like when LaSalle tries to get to the edge, they're not getting there. They've had much more success up the middle and in between the hashes. I think they maybe should stick to that and then throw these intermediate passes with Lucier.
All right, final seconds of the 3rd quarter tick off, and we are through 3 here in Warwick, Rhode Island. Bishop Hendricken leading LaSalle by a score of 28-14. More on YurView right after this.
Prestige Auto Mart, home of the guaranteed credit approval, or the card is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car.
Catch URI Rams football live as they take on Elon, Saturday, October 26th at 1 p.m., only on YurView, Cox Channel 4.
Welcome back to the 60th anniversary celebration homecoming here at Bishop Hendricken High School in Warwick, Rhode Island. And the Hawks treating their fans to a 28-14 lead here as we start the fourth quarter. And LaSalle trying to pick up some yardage here.
Lucier with the throw, a little bit behind his wide receiver. Can't tell from here if the defender got his hand on that or if it was just a drop, but you'd like to see him put it on that front shoulder on that out route. Great timing. Looked like a good ball, but just inches away.
So fourth down now for the Rams. We'll have to punt this one away.
Watch out, this has been their Achilles heel.
Yes, it has. 2 block punts. Dan Catanzaro trying to get it away, and he gets this one away cleanly. That's a nice looking punt.
Oh,
and
boy.
That's going to take a big LaSalle roll and picked up.
Ouch.
And that is going to be run back and out of bounds as a risky move there by Jordan Robbins. But he did get some of that yardage back, and Hendricken will take over on their 22-yard line.
You know, for a second, you're hoping that it rolls all the way through the end zone, but it didn't look like he did, so maybe a heady play by him. The problem is if you muff that, you're in real trouble. And if we know how this game's going, all the turnovers are going to happen on punts.
That's right. Special teams have been a big factor in this game here tonight and have helped produce the score that we have now, 28-14, as we get the fourth quarter underway. All right, here we go now. Hendricken, 1st and 10 on their own 22. Tom Camella calling signals. And the handoff, and that goes off tackle and up to about the 25-yard line. And that was Nick Camella, Tom's brother, twin brother. The pickup for a few yards.
Hendricken try to establish himself with the run. LaSalle sitting in a cover 1, which is just man with a free safety in the middle of the field, which, like I said, allows them to kind of pack that box in and blitz one or two of those linebackers.
2nd and 8 for Hendricken. Camella is going to run it, finding some room, and picks up a couple of yards on the play before he is tackled.
There's option left with Nick and Tom Camella, and Tom decides to keep it up the middle and makes a good move and probably picks up, 2-3.
So 3rd down coming up here, 3rd down and 5, let's call it. Trying to work themselves out of deep in their own territory. This drive starting at the 22-yard line and now resting the ball on the 28-yard line. They need the 32 to pick up 1st down yardage. Let's see what they've come up with here on 3rd down. Camella wants to pass. It's traffic, finding some room. The pursuit by the defense, and
he might have got away with it.
I don't know. It looks like they pushed him out of bounds at the 29-yard line, so that's about 3 yards short. It's going to be 4th down coming up here for the Hawks.
I don't know what Tom's looking at there. I thought that might be a screen situation if they're going to blitz their backers there, pop one over the top, the same way they did in the first quarter. But I didn't see anyone there, and it looked like Tom expected someone short. And I saw you had his left wide receiver streaking down the sideline.
So I believe we may have a timeout here, or looks like they're backing the ball up, so a penalty against Hendricken. Wow. That was a big one. Still 4th down now, but long yardage. And they're going to punt this one away, and the punter will, Cole Peterson, probably be back in his own end zone here, or close to it.
It's amazing when you look at the chart of a football game, how many punts, how much the punt squad actually contributes, right? It's almost a little bit demoralizing as a quarterback. You say, oh man, we punted that much, but what it tells you is that it's a game of mistakes, right? Because if you're going to punt on half the drives anyway, then don't throw that interception for a pick 6, because they're likely not going to score even if you do punt it to them. You're going to get it right back 4 minutes later.
Well, it's a telltale sign as we follow the Patriots here in New England. There's games where the New England punter won't have any punts,
right.
And then like last week they had quite a few, and the Patriots just couldn't get the offense going. So
right.
It's certainly a signal of how things are going offensively. We have a penalty flag here as that kick bounced out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. We'll see what the officials came up with here.
This game is a good example why some high schools around the country have decided never to punt, right? Because you have your punter, and they're not college-level punters. You might get 10, 20 yards at times on the punt, and you give the other team the ball in the red zone. Now, you can't quantify if you went for it 4 times on 4th down, how many of those you would have gotten, and what the result would have been if your team would have ended up in the end zone. And I think that's why you see at the end of a game, a lot of teams, all of a sudden they need to score a touchdown, and they do, because they're running 4-down territory. They're running 4 downs, and with 4 downs, that makes all the difference. Because if you watch this game, it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 4. Well, if you go for it on 4th and 1, that's 1st down.
Roughing the kicker looks like to be the call here, and that gives Hendricken an automatic 1st down here. Wow.
The punt squad is this whole game.
So they'll set up 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line as the Hawks get new life here. There's the handoff, and then drop for a big loss. Angel Sanchez is going nowhere. So a nice gang tackle there by the LaSalle defense, dropping the Hawks for a loss. So 2nd down and 12 for the Hendricken Hawks, as we're into the 4th quarter now here in Warwick, with the Hawks leading LaSalle by a score of 28-14.
Be interesting to see what we do here. Maybe some intermediate throws, get them out of this situation, get them into a 3rd and manageable.
All right, back to pass Camelo. The rush is on. He looks deep, and it is complete. 1st down. That pass to Helio Sousa.
Sousa making his mark on this game. Not the best pass Tom Camelo's ever thrown, but enough to get it done. You basically have a back shoulder effect on the end of that play. When they're in man, that DB can't see the ball. Out and up on the sideline. Tom throws it. Ends up being a back shoulder throw. And not on purpose. If you put it in front of him, they would have had 7 there. Or 6 at least.
So a big pickup there gets the Hawks into LaSalle territory. The ball spotted on the 43-yard line, and here comes Hendricken trying to build on their 2-touchdown lead here in the 4th quarter. And after the snap, we have flags flying, and we'll see what the call is, and that's going to be offsides called against Hendricken, so they'll back it up 5 yards.
See, now that's going to limit their playbook. What I was going to say was it's daunting to see Angel Sanchez, one of the best athletes in the state, coming in speed motion every time, right? As a linebacker, you got to respect that, and you got to move out of your spot. And now they're going to send those slot wide receivers or tight ends straight up the middle of the defense. But from here, you don't have your whole playbook, so they gotta pick something else.
So, first down and 15 now for the Hawks. Tom Camella wants to run it. Now flips it off. And the pitch to his brother, who picks up a few yards before being pushed out of bounds on the Hendricken sideline.
Pretty well executed by the two twins there. Penalty again.
Holding against Hendricken, so they'll back it up a little bit more here.
You know, I think that's a subplot of this whole game, that penalties have really been a little bit of a hindrance to both offenses and both teams in general. These offenses, right, are both high-powered offenses. They can both put up 40, 50 points in a game. But what we're looking at the scoreboard right now is 28-14, right? So it's not what these teams are used to. And like you said, that them playing, these two high-powered teams playing this early in the season, you don't get the best game, you know, as far as offense. You get a little bit more of a defensive battle.
Well, one thing that's almost certain, as death and taxes, you know what they say? Death, taxes, and Hendricken and LaSalle in the state championship Super Bowl game. So these two are sure to meet again in November. All right, rolling out, looking to pass. Camella chased out of the pocket. Then he lets it fly, and he's got a receiver along the sideline here. It's his brother, Nick Camella, and he gets some of that lost yardage back as the ball, again, spotted in LaSalle territory.
Great catch by Nick. Led him back to the sideline. You know, I think if Tom could, he'd have a couple of these throws back, put a little bit more air under them. But he's making plays with his feet. He bought an extra 4 or 5 seconds back there just with his athleticism.
All right, second down coming up here for the Hawks. Second and about 15. There's a couple of penalties has really set their efforts on this offensive drive back. But as we have seen here tonight, how quickly things can change and how much yardage can quickly be gained. Let's see what happens here. Man in motion, Sanchez. Camella back to pass. The rush is on. He eludes it. Going to tuck it in, and there he goes out of bounds at the 41-yard line. A pickup of about 7 yards, but still well short of the first down.
That'll be somewhat manageable. This gives Frank some options, Coach Pantaleo. So it'll be interesting to see what he calls here. They're going to have to go to the ear unless they got some sort of screen in the playbook that they haven't used and LaSalle hasn't seen yet.
The ball spotted on the 40-yard line and 7 yards to go for a first down.
I'd like to see them surprise them with some sort of blade screen. The outside receiver coming down the line of scrimmage, allow that pass rush to come in so he can break away. It's like a kick return. You need something. Most plays don't get you 7 unless you throw it past them.
All right, third down and 7. Camella dropping back and throws it long, and Sanchez, no, in and out of his hands. Angel Sanchez had the room and had a beat on the defender, had it in his arms, but it falls incomplete. So fourth down coming up for the Hawks, as Sanchez, talking to the officials, perhaps thought he was interfered with. But no yellow flag as we take a look at this one again, Kyle.
Yeah, not a bad, that's pretty, you can't throw it real better than that, but that DB's right there, makes a play on the ball. Sanchez had a chance to make a big play, but doesn't quite make it happen. Again, a situation of third and medium where you kind of know you got to throw the ball downfield, so they're on it.
All right, so fourth down.
I'm surprised they're punting it. This is a spot where they might be able to force go for it on fourth down. And like I said, another punt kind of shanked off to the side. So you don't get much out of the play, right?
So that ball is downed at the 26-yard line. And we're going to take a break here in the fourth quarter. Hendricken leading at 28-14. More on YurView right after this.
Prestige Auto Mart, home of the guaranteed credit approval, but the car is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car.
At People's Credit Union, we believe banking is more than just a thing you do. It's an important part of your bigger picture, a journey that grows with you. We'd like to help you with your financial roadmap, be your go-to. We believe in taking the time to know you, moving you in the right direction, and lending a helping hand by providing banking solutions that work for you and your family. At People's Credit Union, we believe in your dreams because they're our dreams too.
All right, welcome back. Fourth quarter, last 6:21 of this one, and LaSalle trying to get something going. And on first down, the ball in and out of the hands of LaSalle receiver Brandon Young.
You know, I think what you have here is like we said a couple times, you got some really great players not playing their best ball. Lucier makes that throw 9 out of 10 times. Just got to bring it down a little bit. He's got a slant. It's a controlled route. Put it on his chest and let him run.
Well, LaSalle down 2 touchdowns. This is an important drive for them. You got to believe that they need to get that ball in the end zone here to have a chance of completing the comeback and potentially winning this game. Glad you're with us here tonight at Bishop Hendricken High School, Warwick, Rhode Island. And on second down, the handoff, and around the corner, and barely making it back to the line of scrimmage is Jacob Gibbons. So third down coming up now for LaSalle.
He's running left and right again, right? We'd like to see him get downhill, and it's not all him. It's the play call that's designed to go off outside. Lucier hasn't been able to do much with his legs. I think that's a little bit of the story of the game. Hendricken sort of contained him, made him throw from the pocket, right? He'd like to get out of there, make some plays, get his team excited, but hasn't quite been able to do that yet.
All right, so timeouts, and we're going to take one too here with 5:44 left, and Bishop Hendricken leading at 28-14. More next on YurView.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com. YurView.com. You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
So fourth down coming up, 5:41 to go.
Hendricken having moderate success getting to Lucier back there, so that can make you uncomfortable. They've got a few, I think in the first quarter they had a couple hits on him. They forced him out to spin out of the pocket a couple times, so a little bit of success there for Hendricken.
All right, so special teams that has played such a big role in shaping this game here tonight. Once again, we'll punt the ball away. There's a high snap, but it is kicked away and bounces at the 41-yard line. And
let it roll.
Is going to be downed. So Hendricken takes over at the 36-yard line.
Jordan making sure that one doesn't get past him, right? The last one rolled for about 40 yards. It's an important drive for Hendricken. This could put the game away if they don't capitalize here and we got another 3 and out. It gives LaSalle life. They're hanging on for dear life here with 14-point deficit. So if we could put a drive together, that might seal the deal for Hendricken.
So keep the clock rolling, right? I mean, that's it. If you can put together a nice drive here, you don't necessarily have to score, but if you can take a couple of minutes off the clock.
But they're making it tough on them. Look how many people are within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. So what they're saying is, no, you're going to throw it deep. You're either going to score fast or you're not going to have a maintained drive here. We're going to shut you down on 3, or you're going to throw it over our heads.
Nick Camella running on first down, picks up about 3 yards on the play. Trying to find an opening, brought down at the 41-yard line. And the clock continues to roll as we head towards the 5-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Hendricken with a 2-touchdown lead. They are the defending Super Bowl champs. They won it in 2018, 2017. The team that they're playing here tonight won that game. And
LaSalle's got to take some pride. If you're going to put that many guys up near the line of scrimmage, you can't let them get 3 yards, 4 yards on first down.
2nd down and 6. Here's Camella looking for some room, a little shifting there, and he finally taken down at the 45-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down, 2 yards to go for the first down. And the most important thing for Hendricken right now is the clock continues to roll as we're under 4.5 minutes to play here.
Like you said, he wiggles through for another 4, which puts them in super manageable 3rd and 2nd. And that's what I was saying about Tom. He not only has that speed, he's got deceptive quickness in between the hashes, and he must have made 3 guys miss, between the tackles.
Well, importantly, keeps that clock rolling here on 3rd down. Now approaching 4 minutes to go, making it that much more difficult for LaSalle to come back in this game. But anything can happen. Here we go, 3rd down and 2. Sanchez in motion, takes the handoff, cuts up, looking big gainer. 1st down yardage and more as he rolls into LaSalle territory, and Angel Sanchez picking up some big yardage for the Hawks.
Yeah, a little bit demoralizing for LaSalle since they're crowding the line so much, and they're slashing through for 8 right there. 4, 4, and 8. It's just not what they want to see happening. They have to sit here while they huddle up and watch time tick off the clock, although it's stopped right now.
Well, we'll see what the situation is here. Perhaps a penalty call. They're not moving the chains at all. In fact, they're going to be moving the ball back. So holding against Hendricken negates that play and is going to bring the ball back to the 35-yard line. So another 3rd down play here.
Yep. It's what keeps LaSalle in the game is these little Hendrickens that kind of are, it's like shooting yourself in the foot for Hendricken. They've played a great game minus the little penalties.
So now it's 3rd and 12 for the Hawks. Chilly night here in Warwick. Fans hanging in there, watching this football game, and then it'll be treated to some fireworks to help celebrate Hendricken's 60th anniversary after the game.
I'd look for a screen here. They've tried to go downtown on 3rd and long a few times. It's almost bit them. There you go, right out of the backfield.
Nick Camella reels in the pass and trying to find room, heading towards the middle of the field, and is brought down at the 46-yard line. So a little short of 1st down, but keeps the clock rolling, and it's going to be 4th down for the Hawks, but a penalty flag.
I think a good play call by Croft and his coaching staff right there. Something just to get the ball out of his hands and pick up half of that, because we'll see what this penalty is. But even if they punt right here, it's still going to take time. They're going to push them back, and they're going to have to drive the field. And they're not down 7; they're down 14.
So the penalty against LaSalle will give Hendricken 1st down yardage. That's a killer. That is a killer for the Rams.
They get bailed out. And now Hendricken smells blood in the water. They're trying to put this game out, put the final seal on this game. And if a few 1st downs will do it for them, especially a touchdown. That was a killer.
That was a roughing the passer call that puts the ball at midfield now and 1st down for the Hawks.
Like I said, it's tough for those guys to hold up when they see the quarterback within 2 feet of them, but both of those roughing penalties this game were big plays, and they actually gave the offense new life.
Well, and it looks like I think it's going to be a legal procedure here. Yep, it's going to go against Hendricken, and they'll back it up 5 yards.
Yep.
It's kind of tough. There is 40 seconds in between plays, and I'm sure at this point of the game, Hendricken wants to, tick off as many seconds before they hike the ball as possible. But
you have to stay patient when you're down in your stance as a lineman. You're not used to that pause every time.
But I was going to say that you don't know where you are in the play clock because there is no play clock out there.
Right.
It's kept by one of the officials. So
yeah.
I don't know whether they maybe have some sort of a signal to let you know when you're inside of 10 seconds.
I've had guys yell it out, hey, you got 10. They'll give you a 10 and a 5 so you know about where you're at.
All right, we've got a timeout here on the field, and we're going to take a timeout with 2:24 to go. Hendricken with a 2-touchdown lead over LaSalle. We're back next on YurView.
At People's Credit Union, we believe banking is more than just a thing you do. It's an important part of your bigger picture, a journey that grows with you. We'd like to help you with your financial roadmap, be your go-to. We believe in taking the time to know you, moving you in the right direction, and lending a helping hand by providing banking solutions that work for you and your family. At People's Credit Union, we believe in your dreams because they're our dreams too.
Prestige Automat, home of the guaranteed credit approval, or the car is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, 0 down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Automat, a better way to buy a car.
Welcome back as we're in the final minutes of Bishop Hendricken versus LaSalle. Hendricken with a 2-touchdown lead with 2:24 to go. Frank Carpano along with Kyle Rowley for tonight's game between the two top teams in the state of Rhode Island. And the advantage tonight going to Bishop Hendricken, the defending Super Bowl champion, playing against the team that they beat in last year's Super Bowl.
At times tonight, we've seen both these offenses hit their stride, right? Hendricken in the first quarter, LaSalle a little bit in the second, a little bit in the third. But it's been a story, a little bit of penalties and big plays. I think another reason why, not just the fact that it's early in the season with these penalties, but the fact that these players are so amped up to play against their rivals that they have a little bit of anxiety. Those guys in the line of scrimmage want to hit somebody, and that causes you not to watch the ball or not pay attention to the snap count.
All right, first down and long here for Hendricken. 1st and 15, and then the handoff and going nowhere is that running play for the Hawks. I believe that was Nick Camella who took the handoff from his brother, and it'll be 2nd down here.
Yep, and you can expect Hendricken to pretty much keep it on the ground for the duration here. They want that clock rolling.
The timeout called by LaSalle here to stop the clock with just under 2:20 to play.
The most you might see the ball in the air is maybe some screens to the outside. Try to get it in Sanchez's hands, get you 1 first down.
So now Hendricken's saying, hey, listen, just no turnovers. Let's run our plays. Let's play it safe. Am I right?
Right, yeah. I mean, there's a time to play it safe, and for Hendricken, that's right now. They just want to run this clock out, take the win, and get out of here. I don't think they're super happy. I don't think it's the best game they ever played, but it's their rival. It's the 60th anniversary of the school. It's alumni night, right?
Got a lot of people here. We're being treated to, if you're on the Hendricken side of the field, a good game.
Just saw Rob McClanahan in the booth.
Rob McClanahan, who's got a new book out.
Yes. Right? It's called Network. It's all about his journey training NBA players and stories, untold stories. I mean, I've heard a lot of them, but the public hasn't.
That'd be a good read. And here's Nick Camella, who's getting away from the grips of a LaSalle defender, and he'll lose about 3 yards on that play. So another successful Hendricken Hawk, Rob McClanahan.
Yeah.
And so many others. I mean, there's guys who have been in the pros or headed to the pros. Of course, earlier tonight we were talking about Will Blackman, who's with the NFL Network in London to cover the Chicago Bears Oakland Raiders game, and got a call from the Raiders saying, hey, would you like to come work out for us? He's been out of the league for a year, I think, but itching to get back, and he'll have a chance now.
Trust me, he can still run for sure. I see, we do the camp every year right here on this field, and he races all the players and gives them about a 5-yard head start and wins the race every time. He's in shape, too.
Well, Will is one of the guys who've made it to the NFL. Of course, Maybe the first was Steve Furness.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard about
Know the name.
someone like him, won 4 Super Bowls with the Steelers.
Yep.
Class of '69 here. Matt Sherry is another young man who was drafted by the Bengals in 2008. Of course, you had 14 years in the Arena League, winning championships and MVP award, right?
I'm going on 15 and 16 because they keep calling me back for these one-game stints every year. So I've had a tendency to say 16 years, but that just sounds wrong.
When does the pension kick in?
People
That's
go,
what you
wait,
wanna
how
know.
old are
Yeah.
you? 57?
It's all right. It's all right as long as the arm still works, right?
Exactly. That's the one good thing about playing quarterback. You can do it mostly as long as you can because your accuracy gets better, your acumen gets better. You lose the feet a little bit, but you can do it from the pocket.
All right, it's 3rd and long now for Hendricken. Camella with a handoff. Now he's going to keep it himself, and he's going to run. Turns it upfield, and there he goes. Tom Camella, boy, did he turn on the afterburners to pick up first down yardage and more. Seemed like he almost slipped it into 5th gear.
Yeah, when he hits the edge, good luck. And they've done a decent job. He hasn't broken any for touchdowns, but God, that's dangerous. And that's one of the problems with defending Tom Camella is that he can throw the ball, he can run the ball outside and inside. So you can't hedge your bet.
So another first down for Hendricken here as we're inside of 2 minutes and the clock rolling. We're in take-a-knee territory, right? I mean, victory formation?
Well, I think they've got to run a couple more plays here. No, you know what?
I mean, you get 40 seconds between plays, so
do
the math. You can do it because
I
can't do it.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll admit when I'm wrong.
I'm out of fingers. I'm out of toes. You know, I think.
Listen, they got no play clock. I can't see how many timeouts either.
I know. All right, here's a timeout that is being called. So that'll stop the clock with 1:08 to go. And we talk about some of the Hendricken Hawks who have played in the pros or been drafted by the pros, but you know, there's also some guys who are in the pipeline who someday may play in the pros and are probably motivation for a lot of these guys because they're their contemporaries. You've got a guy like Quiddy Pay, class of 2017 here at Hendricken. He's at the University of Michigan.
Donnie Brown, the defensive coordinator at Michigan, who was my defensive coordinator at Brown, says such big things about Quiddy Pay. He raves about him. He said, and I think this is out there publicly, that he may be quietly the best player in all of the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
So talk about that's NFL.
praise.
That's someone on their way to the NFL.
And then another young man who's just starting his college career, Xavier Truss, who just graduated here last year. Big boy, freshman at Georgia.
Yeah, what a great play. I mean, his recruiting experience was something I got to see a little bit because he had everyone. Now I think with Quiddy, people kind of caught on that Hendricken's a little bit of a breeding ground for these football players. So you had every team across the country, all these big 1A schools coming through Hendricken every day. So it was people were showing up for pictures. You know what I mean? It was a whole ordeal.
And then the current class year senior Jake Picard is committed to play at Villanova next year. So
another great player. I really respect Jake. He did the whole camp circuit, really just looking to get some attention. Finally found a school that's a fit for him. So that's awesome that he's going to get to play at the next level.
All right, victory formation for the Hendricken Hawks here as the quarterback takes a knee and the clock ticks away here. Now inside of a minute.
It's interesting to watch out there. Who do they put the furthest back? And they've got Angel Sanchez, so that means we trust you. If something goes wrong, you run this guy down.
Right.
He's the safety in this victory formation.
And the fans with applause on the Hendricken side for a job well done by their Hawks as Tom Camella takes another knee.
Somewhat of a decisive victory for Hendricken. I think what LaSalle has to do is go back and look at the fact that they really let themselves down on special teams. Don't be demoralized by it. They were never really in this game after the first quarter. They showed a little bit of stints, but they just need to shore up the special teams. That's all.
Coming into this game, the head coach of the Hendricken Hawks was wondering if his team was going to find an identity. They did here tonight as they defeat their arch rival, the LaSalle Rams. Hendricken with a 28-14 win here on YurView. We're back with more right after this.
Tonight's player of the game is sponsored by Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car. Football fans, join us each and every Friday for some of the top high school teams from around the country on YurView.
Buy brand new movies instantly with Contour from Cox.
We are the Men in Black, the best kept secret in the galaxy.
I want in. Check, please.
Now, this is a very complicated piece of machinery.
Yeah, got it.
Men in Black International. Purchase movies right from your remote. Download them to go and watch anywhere, anytime on your mobile devices. Start building your digital video library now.
Prestige Automart, home of the guaranteed credit approval, or the card is free.
Other dealers claim guaranteed credit, but the truth is they depend on banks and credit unions.
Prestige delivers because in addition to 25 local and national lenders, we own our own finance company.
With over 750 vehicles, zero down payment, and as low as $79 per month.
Hey, that's lower than my phone bill.
You can save thousands with our online VIP pricing, allowing you to keep more money in the bank.
Prestige Automart, a better way to buy a car.
Contour. Pause. I love this song.
Yeah, feel it still.
Wait a minute. Pause. What?
The song, Feel It Still?
No, I don't feel it. You know what? Never mind. Contour, what song is this?
What do you know?
Contour's voice remote gets you right to the good stuff.
You're watching Game Time on YurView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YurView.com.
Interview first. Welcome back to Warwick, Rhode Island. Hendricken with a 28-14 win over LaSalle here. And the player of the game, the Prestige Automart player of the game, standing by now with Kyle Rowley. Kyle?
Thanks, Frank. I'm here with player of the game, Tom Camella. Tom, talk to me about the feeling of beating LaSalle, a big rivalry, obviously, and your senior season, and in the beginning of the season to set a tone for this season.
Yeah, it feels really good. We had a lot of guys banged up. We knew that they would come back after the first quarter because they're a really great team. It means a lot to our team. We knew we had to get the win for our motivation for the rest of the season.
Talk to me. How do you keep the guys up when you get a 14-0, but you know you've got a great LaSalle offense that you know can come back in that game? How do you keep your guys up for the rest of the game?
We just stay poised, stay calm. We know there's a lot of football left, so we know what our job is, and we know we got to perform.
You showed a little bit of life before halftime. What did you talk to the guys about in the locker room?
We just said we got to calm down. We know what we can do. We know, obviously, that we can go up big when everyone's doing their job. And we stayed calm. We knew we were getting the ball in the second half.
Congratulations. A way to represent Hendricken on the 60th anniversary. We look forward to seeing you play the rest of the year. Back to you, Frank.
All right, thank you very much, Kyle, and thank you, Tom Camella. Camella with the first touchdown of the game here tonight, and of course leading the offense out to a 28-0 lead, and then holding on. Hendricken beating LaSalle tonight. 28-14 was the final. Well, I mentioned that Camella had the first touchdown, but here's the play of the game. A blocked punt, Angel Sanchez with a block, and Brandon Duran falling on the ball and carrying it into the end zone for the touchdown. That made it 21-0. It proved to be the game-winning touchdown as Hendricken goes on to beat LaSalle 28-14. These top two teams here in the state of Rhode Island, and this battle won by the Hendricken Hawks. So that'll do it from Warwick, Rhode Island tonight. For Kyle Rowley, I'm Frank Carpena. We thank you for watching YurView. Good night, everybody.
Game Time high school football action on YurView is sponsored by Prestige Auto Mart, a better way to buy a car. Football fans, join us each and every Friday for some of the top high school